Electric and J. Michael Kelly. He's going to be followed by his teammate Corey Peabody driving the U9, the Beacon Plumbing. Then it's the powder blue and white Miss Home Street with the rookie Dylan Runny. And the fourth boat up and away from the dock, the gold, white, and black Goodman Real Estate, the U91 with Andrew Tate. All four up and running. It is Madison Racing versus Strong Racing, two of each. This could be fun. We're going to go 3 times around this 2.5-mile race course coming up on 4 minutes and 5 seconds right now.
Fighting for lanes in the milling period to see who has the inside advantage.
I'm curious to see who's been hiding their speed over the last day, you know, and just kind of knowing they have it dialed in, but not letting anybody know.
Cutting across the ESCO Electric infield will be Runny in the Home Street and Goodman Real Estate boat with Andrew Tate.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch these guys run on the water together, because if you saw the preseason interview with Andrew Tate, they asked him about teammate Dylan Runny, and he's had nothing but good things to say about him and said they had raced together since they were kids, blah, blah, blah. But he really did not like the term teammate, and he made that pretty plain. He says, no, he wears powder blue, and I wear black and gold. And he made it pretty clear, once they go on the race course, all bets are off. He's going to go out and try and win, and Dylan Runny is just another competitor. Beacon Plumbing, the third boat through the corner down here. Check that Beacon Electric. Then it's the Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody. So the boats are spread out a little bit. Andrew Tate going up the backstretch with 250, sitting on the inside lane right now, but a lot can change.
It's kind of interesting the way Team Madison both went through the ESCO Electric infield together.
Does the 80-mile-an-hour rule hold for this 2023 Columbia Cup?
Yeah, there's a little change to it, Brad.
Yeah, there is, and it's kind of like what the rule has changed to be. It's that, you know, it's like fishing, and you throw a great big net out over the water, you're going to catch all kinds of things beyond just the fish you were trying to get. And that's not really what the 80-mile rule was intended to do. They're trying to catch a specific violation, and that's the one that yields a starting advantage to the team. So this gives the chief referee, Rick Sandstrom, the leeway to do that.
Gotcha. Boats coming out of the turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers onto the front stretch. It'll be Tate in the Goodman Real Estate onto the front stretch first.
2 minutes.
Home
2 minutes.
Street, Dylan Runny second. Then the bright red Beacon Electric. And boy, really close to the Beacon Plumbing. J. Michael Kelly right next to his teammate there, Corey Peabody. Across the Mosteller start-finish line down to all doors, turn number 1. Anybody jumping across the ESCO infield?
I don't think they can, Mike. We're still a minute 35.
How you doing there, teammate? Get away from me. Don't you know I don't like this? Get away from me now.
Well, those two are deck to deck.
I know.
Peabody and Kelly.
I didn't think they were
Electric on the outside, Plumbing on the inside.
They were supposed to be all pally, I thought.
It's kind of interesting, actually.
Andrew Tate's up and moving down here a little quicker than I thought. He got down here at 126, and you don't want to be down here at 130, so he was a little before that, and he gave it a little squirt. Right in front of AJ, you got all 4.
1 minute mark.
Goodman in 1. The Goodman Real Estate boat with Tate.
Both Beacon boats still right next to each other.
Yep, and looks like they'll be in 3 and 4. You've got Runny in lane number 2. Peabody in 3, and Kelly in 4. as they head up the backstretch with 37 seconds.
Now we'll see if those scoring up and in the testing and in the qualifying, if they're going to hit those marks. 30 seconds.
So, lane number 1, Andrew Tate in the 91, Goodman Real Estate. Lane number 2 will be Dylan Runny in the 1, Miss Home Street. Corey Peabody in the 9, Beacon Plumbing.
15.
In lane number 3, J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. The 8 in lane number 4 as they come out of turn number 4.
6.
Buffalo Brothers
5,
on to the front stretch.
3, 2, 1. Mark.
It is a clean start, and the speed is on the outside with J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric heading down to turn number 1 for All Doors Incorporated. It is a legal start. It is a legal start.
Coming down here 4 wide. J. Michael Kelly really flying in the U8, the Beacon Electric. He's got the lead on the outside, but he's got a lot of speed off to his left.
4 boats right next to each other. It looks like the number 1 has the lead right now with Beacon Plumbing and Corey Peabody in second as they come around turn number 2.
Yeah, it is. Nice run by Peabody in first place, heading up the backstretch. The home street with Runny in second place. It'll be a shorter course for Runny. The question is, what will happen with Tate on the inside? Can he catch up as they dive into White's Finish Furniture, turn number 3, and come around to Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4? The leader is going to be the home street at the exit pin with Dylan Runny. Way on the outside, falling back a little bit off the pace is J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Here comes your race across start finish. Peabody on the outside, gaining on Runny in the home street on the inside.
It is Runny on the inside. It is Peabody on the outside. And they are side by side as they get to the entrance pin of the corner. They are dead even. Runny on the inside of Corey Peabody, AJ.
Looks like Peabody's got a slight edge, but then...
Ooh, they touched.
Oh, whoa.
They touched.
Look at that. Peabody a slight edge on the outside as they touch on the corner.
They did touch in Tire Factory turn number 2. Peabody's going to pull ahead. Runny's falling back about a half a rooster tail. Goodman's trying to gain on the inside in the 91. The Goodman Real Estate boat with Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate had a terrific turn 4 to stay just inside the buoy marker. He was lost in everybody's rooster tail, but don't count him out. The big G on the inside is still a playa.
Yeah, your race leader is Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing coming across start-finish line.
The U1 needs to run an extra lap.
So the home street needs to run an extra lap. We'll have more details on that. Also hearing the 9 line. And more details coming up. Race leaders Peabody as they come into Tire Factory turn number 2.
The U9 and Peabody way out front, probably 3/4 of a rooster tail right now. Of course, the home street is back down a lap, and then coming in second place is the 8 teammate with the Beacon Electric and J. Michael Kelly.
And it looks like a parade right now with a rooster tail lead for each boat over the next behind them. In the lead is Peabody. Then you've got Runny, followed by J. Michael Kelly and Andrew Tate as they come to the top turns. White's Finish Furniture into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 at the exit pin. The final lap, checkered flag is out. Peabody is going to take the checkered flag in the Beacon Plumbing. Second place on the race course is the 1 home street with Dylan Runny. Third place, look at this, J. Michael Kelly able to get around Andrew Tate in the Goodman Real Estate boat.
Well, that race had a little bit of everything.
Yes. And interesting to see what judges may do about lap number 2 and the boats that touched right over at Tire Factory turn number 2.
And the home street still going
guys-
around turn 2.
Guys, you have said they touched. Who touched?
Oh, it was Peabody and Runny.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, we didn't know who had done that. So, but there's no precautionary extra lap for Corey Peabody that is going to be for-
There is.
Well, he didn't take one.
No, it's going to be the 1 Runny with the extra lap.
Okay, yeah, because Corey's already back to the dock.
Yeah, you're right, Brad.
Extra precautionary lap,
boy,
yes.
And from what we could see, it may have been Runny that moved out a little bit.
Well, clearly I would think that's what the officials are thinking, and had there been any question about it, they would have had them both run the extra lap. So I think the fact that Corey was not told to run an extra lap is probably indicative of where they think a possible problem might have been.
140 flavor pack out first.
AJ,
Yeah.
got a question for you.
Okay.
Are you ready for the final heat come tomorrow afternoon? Because you're going to have 6 of them coming side by
Yes,
side.
I am overly ready for that.
Buckle
to answer
up,
your
buddy.
question.
Jamie Nielsen in the 11, Trust Company, Legend Yacht Transport, heading up the backstretch, the Griggs backstretch in lane number 1, up to White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 3, and he's got a pretty darn near full throttle on it.
Here comes our 2 red boats. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware away from the dock with Jimmy King. Here comes his son. Coming with him, Bobby King, coming away from the dock now. He spools up the Lycoming turbine engine on the U12. The Graham Trucking got a whole lot of red headed your way. Got a whole lot of chartreuse and yellow up at the top end, Michael.
And across the Mosteller start-finish line on the front stretch is Nielsen in the 11.
Interesting
Just
for
at the exit pit of turn number 4 of the flavor pack.
for the photo opportunity and for documenting it. Hydroplane racing history. The Kings, Pocket Kings coming out together. And I thought it was interesting that all of the boats were out on the course starting to shore up in one way, shape, or form at the 5-minute mark. Both the Kings didn't come out till there was under 4, more like about 3:30 on the clock. Gamesmanship or just, a different tack, I guess.
It's just a different tack, You don't want to use the same start procedure every single time. Mix
Right.
it up. The other piece to that puzzle is if you have got a really slick move, don't play it in Heat 1B. Save that for tomorrow afternoon about 4:30.
Great point.
So down to the lower end of the race course, Dustin Eccles with the flavor pack. He goes through in about lane number 3 right in front of AJ.
No takers on the ESCO Electric infield. Heat 1B, thanks to Par Lumber. News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com.
2:30 mark.
It's the piston-powered Griggs boat. Jimmy King across the Mosteller start-finish line.
I'm kind of pulling for the piston power. I got to be honest with you. I know I'm supposed to stay neutral, but I just want him to be competitive, stay in it, and have a good showing. I mean, the fans just absolutely love the piston power, the popularity, the populist.
So who's got the best position right now?
Oh, we've got a taker across the ESCO Electric infield.
Everybody.
It's the Florida, it's the flavor pack, Dustin Eccles.
Yeah, and here goes Jamie Nielsen. And this is a legal maneuver where he's doing it. He has to cut on the Grand Prix race course. That is a legal maneuver. Who is in the best position right now? You can't tell because there's so many different variables and so many different things you can do, and a lot's going to change in the next 1:35 is coming up right now. You don't want. I always say you don't want to be down at this end of the race course at 1:30.
Nielsen jumps across the ESCO Electric infield to the front stretch.
Oh, I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, we got less than 1:30.
Oh, the Griggs boat continues around the top end of the course.
Oh, there's no way they're going to make it back in time.
Minute 20, yeah, he can.
He's taking it really wide. He can speed up. He can get there.
Keep an eye on Dustin Eccles with 1:12 right in front of you, AJ. He
There
can
he is.
lane 1 and take it if he wants it.
Flavor pack is in lane 1 right now.
Keep an eye on the piston boat. He may cut the race course down here. He's got to go around the GP course to do it.
Here comes Nielsen. He's flying, trying to catch up.
And I'm not sure.
Why is Jimmy going all the way down?
Yeah, he is, but he does this before. He'll keep the speed up, and he keeps the RPM. He'll be there. Don't you worry.
All right.
35 seconds. Take him, Michael, up the back chute.
He's got his timing mark. He knows where he's at on the Columbia River in the Griggs boat with 39 seconds to the start of Heat 1B from Par Lumber. On the inside, you've got the flavor pack with Dustin Eccles. Nielsen in lane number 2.
30 seconds.
Bobby King in the Graham Trucking 12 is way on the outside, and he'll have to be behind the trailer boat as a rookie. Now you've got Jimmy King, who will pull up in lane number 3 in the Griggs Ace Hardware U3. They are up to the top end of the course and to Buffalo Brothers exit pin for turn number 4.
10.
Eccles, lane number 1. Nielsen in lane number 2. A hard charging, but way behind is the 3 with Jimmy King. He's way off the start.
Great start.
Ooh, that was really close for Jamie Nielsen. He's got the boat speed and the lead in Par Lumber Heat 1B. Heading down to turn number 1 for All Doors Incorporated. It is a legal start.
AJ coming right to you. Jamie Nielsen on the outside.
Jamie Nielsen in the U11, bouncing a little bit. Ooh, he just kind of popped over. Looks like that Eccles managed to catch up a little bit on corner number 2.
Tire Factory, turn number 2. Eccles made a move in the flavor pack.
U3 is going back to the pit area.
It didn't sound right from the get-go, and I think that's maybe why Jimmy King moved way outside in the milling period. So the race leaders are at the top end of the course into White's Finish Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 3. On the inside, Eccles in the 40 flavor pack, trying to catch up with Nielsen in lane number 2. A really nice turn by Nielsen, and look at the Legend Yacht Transport 11 come down the front stretch for the completion of lap number 1. He's flying it out of the water. Oh, trying to catch up on the inside. Can Dustin Eccles make a move in lap number 2? He gets to All Doors Incorporated, turn number 1.
Legend Yacht Transport presented by the Trust Company. Jamie Nielsen's got to get down here first, but Flavor Pack has got the late position on the inside. He's back about 7 boat lengths, AJ.
The U11 coming around the corner in first place. Nielsen looking great. Eccles still about 3/4 of a Rooster Tail behind, but trying to get up there, trying to catch up.
Yeah, that flavor pack seemed to lose more speed than Eccles did on the outside.
So
that inside lane can get awfully lumpy.
And when he nailed that start, all he did was continue to push, but he cannot shake the competition fully just yet.
Watch Eccles. He's been
corner.
gaining on the Griggs backstretch as they go into the White's Furniture. Turn number 3 to Buffalo Brothers. Turn number 4. It's still Nielsen out in front, and that water is a little bit bumpy. Oh, major adjustment just to get around the exit pin of the Buffalo Brothers. Turn number 4 for the Flavor Pack boat. Nielsen with over a Rooster Tail lead now at the completion of lap number 2. Heading down the front stretch to All Doors Incorporated. Turn number 1.
Yeah, Dustin Eccles just moved to the outside. Jamie Nielsen was just pinning Dustin Eccles on that inside lane. He couldn't do anything, and now he's got almost 2 Rooster Tails. Nielsen right to AJ.
Nielsen in first by almost 2 Rooster Tanks, looking amazing. He's going to definitely, as long as nothing happens, looks like he's sailing. Then we got, of course, Eccles screaming by in second, and then third place, Bobby King coming in as the trail boat.
Yeah, that's going to be big points, Dave, for the third place.
Absolutely with the points.
So back up to the top end of the course, off of the Griggs backstretch into the White's Finish Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 3. Jamie Nielsen on the 2.5-mile super speedway. Into Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4. Holding the buoy line pretty close as he gets to the exit pin onto the front stretch. The checkered flag is out. And your winner for Heat 1B, Par Lumber, Jamie Nielsen. Legend Yacht Transport presents the Trust Company. Second place for the Flavor Pack with Dustin Eccles in the 40. Bobby King staying way outside in the Graham Trucking number 12, just at the exit pin now, and onto the front stretch will take third place points. Unfortunately, for the fan favorite piston-powered U3, Griggs Ace Hardware, Jimmy King did not finish.
Mr. Nielsen, sir, you've been racing. That was fun.
Oh, that was a race for sure, man. That was everything we had to keep Dustin behind us. And man, he drove a great race. Anytime you can beat a boat like that, you know we're doing something good. But
Going to answer the call?
Yeah, he's going to answer the call. They're just sitting down there and they're right below us. They still have the lid up. Crew members are reaching over the top of the cockpit, talking to Jimmy in there. Nobody's rushing. They've got plenty of time as we're still at 3:45 until our start.
Thank you, Brad. Cutting across the ESCO electric infield, it'll be the Goodman with Tate to the front stretch and the Nielsen in the Legends Trust Company, Legend Yacht Transport.
Gamesmanship there as they're cutting the infield, not so fast.
Yeah, that's really interesting, guys, because back east in Guntersville and in Madison, that's what Jamie Nielsen was doing. He was running up the backstretch, and then he was cutting across the race course and putting himself on that inside lane. This time, Andrews Tate said, no, thank you. I'm going to turn inside of you, and albeit early, as you hear the Griggs Presents Ace Hardware come away from the dock right below us, it is Andrew Tate down here on the inside. He's got Jamie outside of him. Here comes the 3.
3 minutes.
And coming down the front straightaway is Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack. And as I said this morning, I do expect Dustin Eccles to put the Flavor Pack in an outside lane.
Andrew Tate going by in the Gold G. Nielsen right behind, and here comes Mr. King in the Ace, Griggs Ace 3. Oh,
And
the flavor pack coming by now, too. I still love the look of that boat. That is a beautiful boat.
2.5.
Jimmy King on the outside. He's putting the throttle down on that new Bullet. New engine, new Allison.
It sounds more like it should. Like you said, Mike, yesterday, you knew coming down the front stretch here that it just didn't sound right.
He moved way outside during the milling period, and it did not sound at all like it should.
That piston power, you can hear it in the corner. That's kind of why, yeah, that's what we're expecting.
Look at, we've got another cross of the Esco Electric infield. This time it'll be the 40 flavor pack. Dustin Eccles onto the front stretch. Jimmy King a little bit close to Eccles as they come down the front stretch.
And like you said,
Pretty good squirt coming down here. He was on the far outside.
and Brad, you were saying 130, 135 is the mark. You do not want to be on the low end of the course at 135, right?
Yeah, 130. That's my little unofficial mark here. I don't like it. It's 130 right now, and he is at the entrance pin to the corner. Look to see if he doesn't put his foot in it and either give it a squirt and cut the race course or go way wide. Now he's going wide, trying to scruff off some time.
Way early on the backstretch for Jimmy King.
Jimmy King will cut the race course, I would assume. Here comes the two guys in good position, which is Andrew Tate sitting on an inside lane with Jamie Nielsen right outside of him.
But he has to mind the 1 minute rule, which he's just outside of as he comes across the Esco infield, Esco Electric.
That's a really good call, Michael. I would say that was a legal maneuver on the clock. Look for him to cut the course down here.
He dove in at 102 and came out at 58.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's okay. Look for him to cut the course down here at the lower end. He did not yesterday, and he ended up way behind everybody. There he goes. You got him, Michael, with 40 seconds.
Yeah, on the inside, Tate in the Goodman Real Estate. Oh, way up at the top end of the course. It's the flavor pack. I didn't even see Dustin Eccles way up there with 28 seconds. So Eccles will be in lane 1, Goodman Real Estate lane 2. It'll be Legends, Yacht Transport, Trust Company in lane 3. Jimmy King will be in the outside in lane number 4.
15.
Eccles gets the inside lane. He's early. He will not have a lot of boat speed coming down the front stretch. Nielsen's in 3. Goodman Real Estate in lane 2. Jimmy King on the outside in lane number 4.
3, 2, 1. Mark.
Man, that looked early. Nielsen looked like he may have been early.
He was a little
early. As they come
early.
down the front stretch, Jamie Nielsen is going to be leading into turn number 1 for all doors. The start is under review.
Coming to you, A.J. Nielsen on the outside.
Nielsen's in the lead, but we still got to see the start. Now coming up in second and
It's a legal start.
It's legal.
It's legal. We have the flavor pack in number 2, and then looks like Andrew Tate just inching after corner 2 to take second place.
Yeah, that race is for second place. My goodness, what fun.
He nailed that start.
Jamie Nielsen, it looked early from here. Wow. Heat 2A from CO Energy. Now the boats on the outside are starting to catch Nielsen.
We got us 3 boats coming deck to deck around the corner, Mike.
Boats on the inside, excuse me. Nielsen's on the outside. Yeah, exit pin at Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4. We've got 3 boats together, and there's Jimmy King. We can see way on the outside. Nielsen, he's got great speed off the exit pin, down to the Mosteller start-finish line, down to all doors, turn number 1.
Andrew Tate is making a move on the inside. But Tater is going to pull up alongside Nielsen. He's a boat length back with the lane position on the inside. AJ 3 wide.
Coming into corner 2, Nielsen barely holding on to the lead with Tate coming in right in second. And then, of course, the flavor pack in third. Mr. King coming in 4th, but making a run on the outside.
The boats are so close together. This is the best racing we've seen on the Columbia River. Jamie Nielsen with the lead. Andrew Tate is in second place. Falling back, Eccles. And it may be Jimmy King that will take over 3rd place on the outside from Eccles. They are really close out there as we get to the top end of the course. It's Tate on the inside in the Goodman Real Estate. Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport, and Trust Company on the outside. As they get to the exit pin, they are deck to deck. Nielsen is going to start to pull away a little bit. No, it's going to be Tate. Tate with the boat speed to the Mosteller start-finish line, the completion of lap number 2.
Tate put his foot in the gas coming down to you, Brad.
Yeah, they are coming down still side by side, about a boat length or two between them. But this time it's Tate by 2 boat lengths at the exit pin. Keep an eye on Jimmy King driving a 3 hard on the outside.
Andrew Tate coming around in first place, and second, Nielsen right behind him, coming in strong, and Mr. King coming in third on the outside. Flavorpack coming in fourth, looking good, but lost some speed in turn 2.
Nielsen's going to have a tough time regaining the lead because Tate has run away with it at the exit pin of turn number 4 at the end of lap number 2. Coming out of that Buffalo Brothers turn into the White's Finished Furniture and Hardware's turn 3. Tate in the Goodwin Real Estate 91 to the exit pin of turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers onto the front stretch. He's got a half a rooster tail, now a full rooster tail lead over Jamie Nielsen.
And it seems like there's a lot of rough water in lane 1. Everybody's popping outside to try to get a smoother boat ride.
Your winner, Andrew Tate.
Wow.
In the 91 Goodman Real Estate.
Did you see that one coming?
Jamie Nielsen comes in second. Jimmy King will finish third, and Dustin Eccles a 4th place finish in the Flavor Pack.
Wow.
I'm doing real good. How are you doing? You got it out front, but that Nielsen kid's for real.
Yeah, he had a good start on the outside with some boat speed there. He did a great job too. 2 lanes in there, just enough, and it was a fun race. I had a good time.
You got a in it? Is that what we're hearing from you today?
Something like that. We've changed something every time we've gone out, but that was the best the U91 Goodman Real Estate's felt here probably since we started making some real progress in Guntersville. So we're trending in the right direction, and that's all we can ask for. You know, we like I said, we're changing something every time we get in the boat, and that was the best so far. So we're doing something right.
You're doing a lot right. We've been watching the flag up there on top of the bridge. Water conditions and the wind. Is it okay, raceable?
Yeah, honestly, it was better than a couple laps into testing, which was surprising to me. But I don't know, maybe you just get lost in the competitiveness of racing. You just go as fast as the boat will take you and look at the water in front of you, and whatever's waiting for you is there.
You having a good time?
I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. It's a good start to the day.
Keep it going. Andrew Tate, winner on the water of our Heat 2A, the Goodman Real Estate U91. Andrew. Bobby King in the U12. They're just now tipping the nose of that boat out toward the river. So, AJ,
J. Michael Kelly in the red, Beacon Electric in first, and then of course probably the favorite for this run, I would say Peabody. Nobody's been able to solve the Peabody problem, like Brad said earlier. Third place moving in right after that is of course the U1 with Dylan Runny and with the home street. What a great day for racing. It seems like the wind has died down a little bit too. So
Agreed.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but if Bobby King comes through and
Esco Electric
this,
incursion into the infield. Sorry, Kurt, but the Beacon Electric making a short course around with J. Michael Kelly to the front stretch.
I want to make sure I got this straight. If Bobby King completes this heat, then it'll be the official's call whether or not he can come back from a trailer boat in subsequent races over the course of the weekend. Is that right?
That is correct, and he is away from the dock. He's headed over to AJ right now as we are 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing also went through the Esco Electric infield. As the home street with Dylan Runny comes across the Mosteller start-finish line now. J. Michael Kelly, Tire Factory turn number 2.
With QuickBooks Online, your books are easily organized and tax prep and filing are built right in, so you save time on the whole process.
Then you've got the 12 Graham Trucking and Tire Factory turn 2 now.
It's just so interesting that Jamie Nielsen amazing start, all for naught.
You wonder where that may have occurred, you know, where the timing was.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure the data will point that out, and I'm sure they'll
doubt.
take a look at it.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
Reminding our fans on the shoreline here that when our boats come out of the pit area, they do not know what lane they will be driving this heat in. That is part of the allure of the 5-minute period, the race before the race. These guys are out there trying to out-finagle the other one, if you will, for their predetermined in their mind lane they would like to have, but they are not assigned. They are still jockeying for that position as we come up on 210. I would expect everybody to go around the top end of the race course, then come down here to the bottom and around one more time. I'm not sure we're going to see anybody cut the race course from where they are right now.
2 minutes. The only boat that knows where he will be on the race course is the 12 on the outside. For now, Graham Trucking with Bobby King. Setting up on the inside will be the Beacon Electric, Beacon Plumbing in 2, Home Street in 3 as they come on what is a great photo opportunity down the front stretch.
This is a nice strategy, I think. You've got those 3 boats basically banking on the timing.
Minute 30.
If they hit the line all at the same time, that could be some sweet deck-to-deck action into turn 1.
Looks like J. Michael Kelly's going to hold on to lane 1. Corey Peabody in 2. Dylan Runny in 3. On the outside will be Graham Trucking. 5 seconds back with Bobby King.
And I like the timing a whole lot better this time. They're headed over to AJ with 110 till our start. AJ?
They are looking good, lining up. J. Michael Kelly, that's got to be scary for everybody having J. Michael Kelly in the first lane, actually, to tell you the truth. Then it looks like it's funny. Bobby King, even though he's on the outside, almost moved into second, but he's way out on the outside lane. And then, of course, you got Peabody and then the Home Street and Dylan Runny.
How does Bobby King know to be 5 seconds behind? Is it the classic one Mississippi? You know, like you used to in touch football if you were to rush the quarterback?
You set your watch that way.
Okay.
That's a good point, Brett.
Yeah, you set your watch 5 minutes slow, or 5 seconds slow.
Okay.
And that way you still know your timing marks.
Right.
When you do get to dial it up and be on the front line.
So you can still work on that timing mark, just knowing that it's set 5 seconds. That's cool.
Setting up J. Michael Kelly in the 8, Beacon Electric in lane number 1.
20 seconds.
Lane number 2, Corey Peabody.
15.
In the 9, Beacon Plumbing. It'll be Dylan Runny in the 1, Home Street. In lane number 3. On the outside, 5 seconds back, Bobby King in the 12, Graham Trucking. 4, 3, 2, 1. It is a clean start. The boat speed's on the outside with the Home Street as they come down the front stretch.
Boy, they are tucked together. 3 wide getting down here. Fly on the right side spots. And is J. Michael Kelly going to get down here dead even with teammate Corey Peabody. But Runny's only a boat length back, AJ.
It looks like J. Michael Kelly's holding the lead in turn 2, but Peabody just takes the lead coming through turn 2, and then the Home Street tight in behind, but still at third coming up.
Look at that turn number 2 for Tire Factory. Corey Peabody taking the lead away from the inside boat, J. Michael Kelly. Coming down the back stretch. It's the Peabody entry in second lane, and he'll dive into White's Finished Furniture Hardwood's turn number 3 with the lead, but on the inside, J. Michael Kelly has the short course around to the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. It's still Peabody with the lead. Peeking on the outside now. That was a really nice turn at the top end of the course for the Home Street. Falling back in lane number 1 just a bit is J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Peabody has the lead. This is going to be a tight one into All Doors turn number 1.
Corey Peabody still going to get here with almost the full rooster tail on Runny, but his teammate J. Michael Kelly is on the inside lane about 5 boat lengths back, AJ.
Looking really good. Peabody in first and keeping J. Michael Kelly pinned to the inside of Tire Factory turn number 2. The Home Street and Runny coming in probably almost 1 full rooster length behind in third place. And then, of course, Bobby King coming in 5 seconds behind in fourth.
Watch J. Michael Kelly.
He got pinched a little bit in turn 4 on the last lap.
J. Michael Kelly gaining on Peabody as they dive into White's Finished Furniture, turn number 3. Trying to pull even at the apex into the Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4. But it's still Peabody with great momentum. Oh, a big hop out of the water that time for the Beacon Electric with J. Michael Kelly hitting a little rough water at the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4. It's Peabody with the lead by a half a rooster tail as they head down for the final lap.
Yeah, on the left side rearview mirror of Corey Peabody, his teammate J. Michael Kelly, who does not want to go away. He's still back by only about 5 boat lengths. If there's a mistake on Peabody, Kelly's going to be there to advance, AJ.
Bouncing and bobbing through corner number 2, the Tire Factory turn to corner number 2. Peabody in first place. J. Michael Kelly trying to catch up, coming up behind, and the Home Street and Runny in third.
It's a final opportunity on the inside for J. Michael Kelly, trying to reel in his teammate Corey Peabody. It's Electric on the inside, Plumbing on the outside. as they head into White's Furniture, turn number 3. Can J. Michael Kelly reel him in? At the apex, it looks pretty close as they get to Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4. It's still Peabody in the lead, and a little bit of rough water and a bobble for the Beacon Electric with J. Michael Kelly. Peabody's holding on to the lead onto the front stretch, and he will take the checkered flag for CO Energy, Heat 2B. Second place will be the Beacon Electric with J. Michael Kelly, and a third place finish for the one Home Street with Dylan Runny. Great racing. Lane number 2 gets the win.
The freaking with Beacon Electric Plumbing. It's a beautiful thing.
Lane 2, that's been probably the best lane all weekend so far, hasn't it?
And now that Bobby King has completed his laps, let's hope the race official allows him up on the line as we move forward this championship Sunday.
All right, Corey, it's been a great weekend so far.
Yeah, it's been a good one. That was a great heat race, great win for us. Good position for the Beacon Electric, boat 2-8, getting those 300 points. We need him to keep getting some points. Just happy for everybody and happy to be here.
There was some rough teammates. I mean, the entire racing team, it's fantastic for the two of you.
Yeah, it's great. You know, right?
With Dustin Eccles, then it's J. Michael Kelly who pops out in the Beacon Electric, and right behind him Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. 4 boats now. Here's a good sight. AJ, what do you think of that?
Oh, man, what a sight. So beautiful coming down to turn 2, Tire Factory turn 2. We got the red boat, J. Michael Kelly with the U8, followed by his teammate, the white, with Peabody, of course, and then I think it's green, personally. A lot of people think it's yellow.
I agree.
The green and blue with Nielsen, and then Eccles following behind with a beautiful flavor pack. Now, the reason why, too, look at the flavor pack and then look at Nielsen's boat, and with the yellow and the flavor pack, it definitely makes Nielsen's boat look even more green.
It's so green.
Guys, I hate to tell you this, but the colorblind guy's going to straighten this out. That boat is chartreuse.
It's a shade of green.
Come on, man. You're confusing me. Knock it off.
And everybody's going, oh, well, you put the 2 boats close together in the pit area, and you can really see the difference in the color. And I'm going, really?
Yeah, we've got an incursion in the DMZ, the ESCO Electric DMZ. Nielsen will come through, and J. Michael Kelly will come through.
But that was a legal cut, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mentioned DMZ. I'm going, whoa.
No, they're good.
Okay.
It's the infield, brought to you by ESCO Electric. Perfectly legal.
320 until the start. Yes, that chartreuse royal blue with red accents, U11. Jamie Nielsen coming down the front straightaway here in lane number 1. Now on the far outside, now this is what I expected Dustin Eccles to do in the last heat. He's been in lane 1 twice. It hasn't necessarily worked out for him. I think this time he's going to stick wide. Now, I don't know if we're going to really see any of these boats move. Still got time to kill. We just ticked inside 3 minutes. AJ got him right in front of you.
Eccles just came by in first. Now, he's kind of curving over a little bit. I don't know if he's looking to claim a lane. And then, of course, you got Nielsen, followed by J. Michael Kelly, and then Peabody, who nobody's been able to beat so far this season, coming down the backstretch. Man, that's a beautiful sight.
My money's on Eccles doing the outside boogie, because I swear he was doing a timing run towards the start.
He's going through the ESCO Electric infield to the front stretch.
All right, well, the last time he came down and around, he was definitely doing a timing run to the start-finish line, so maybe he's got something in his hip pocket. We'll see what happens at the start-finish.
2 minutes and 15 seconds to the start of 3A from Trust Company. The other 3 boats will go into White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 3 and Buffalo Brothers turn number 4.
2 minutes coming up, and Brad, you're saying you want to be at the bottom end about 135, is that correct?
No, you do not want to be down here before 1:30.
Okay.
You'd like to be down here about 115, 120.
All right, well, there's 150, and they're all kind of slowing down. We saw this earlier as well. Maybe everybody's going to stay in the pack and sort of feed off one another and hit the start-finish line at the same time. What do you think?
Yeah, here comes Dustin. He's going to come back across and join these three. Right now it's Jamie Nielsen in 1. It is J. Michael Kelly in 2. It is Corey Peabody in 3. Watch Dustin. He will come down and slot into the outside lane. Lane 4, we'll call it. Love the timing they've got right now. So, guys, here it is. They're going to get to the entrance pin. Jamie's there at 117. This is perfect timing. Don't worry about Dustin Eccles on the outside. He can wind it up. He can catch him. AJ, bring him through.
Nielsen coming in the first lane, the beautiful blue and green in first place.
1 minute.
Followed
1 minute.
by J. Michael Kelly in second in the bright red, and then, of course, his teammate Peabody in the white boat, and then, of course, Eccles coming in the yellow and blue flavor pack, catching up really quick to take that fourth lane.
Nielsen in 1. J. Michael Kelly 2, Peabody lane 3. On the outside, Eccles in lane number 4 as they come up the backstretch with 37 seconds to the start of the Trust Company Heat 3A.
This should be fun. Somebody's got to score up buoy going, okay, I'm going to hit it at this mark. Watch this.
Watch Jamie Nielsen. He has been nailing the start.
There
On
at that
the-
entrance, 22. I like it.
Yeah, and on the outside, look at Eccles. He's got foot in the throttle now as he comes to the exit pin of turn number 4. He's way on the outside. There's Nielsen just off the exit pin. J. Michael Kelly on his hip, then Peabody, then Eccles.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's really close.
Look good, though.
Yeah, Nielsen's on the inside, but it's Peabody with a boat speed in lane number 3 as they come down the front stretch. J. Michael Kelly's in the hallway. It's a legal start.
It's a legal start. Nielsen gets down here dead even with Corey Peabody in the tunnel. J. Michael Kelly, but he's not back very far. AJ!
Nielsen coming around the corner in first in blue and green with Peabody in second, and then J. Michael Kelly, his teammate. Ooh, Peabody looks like he's catching up on the outside as they come down the backstretch.
J. Michael Kelly hit some really rough water in the tunnel, but held on to it. Boy, it looked like he was getting loose in there. Jamie Nielsen is back about 3 boat lengths. Peabody's got the lead. Nielsen's going to, though, catch him as they head into turn number 3 for White's Furniture. Top end of the course, Nielsen on the inside. On the outside, it's Peabody in lane number 3. Then we start to see J. Michael Kelly in between, in the hallway right there as they all come to the exit pin. Eccles is back in 4th place, just off the turn now. Across the start-finish line, it is Peabody. Look at that Beacon Plumbing go. 2nd place, J. Michael Kelly's going to take it away from Jamie Nielsen.
Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing U9 from lane 3, driving everybody clean, gonna get down here first, but it's J. Michael Kelly just off to his left, and then it's Nielsen, still really tight, AJ.
Look at Peabody coming out front, really screaming through turn number 2, Tire Factory, and then, of course, looks like J. Michael Kelly holding on to 2nd place. Man, what a great race.
Eccles had a great turn through All Doors Incorporated turn number 1, Tire Factory turn number 2. He may be able to catch up with Jamie Nielsen. The race leaders, Peabody, as they head to White's Furniture turn number 3. 2nd place, J. Michael Kelly. 3rd, Jamie Nielsen.
You got to give it to Peabody. He gave his teammate room coming out of turn 2. He went extra wide and then cut it up to give him some room on that inside for his teammate.
Does Jamie Nielsen have enough to catch J. Michael Kelly? He did at the exit pin, but look at J. Mike pull away in 2nd place. Peabody, the race leader, already down the front stretch, heading into All Doors turn number 1.
Races for
Peabody's
2nd.
coming down here with a full Rooster Tail lead on teammate J. Michael Kelly, but Kelly is worried about his left side rear view mirror because that's where Jamie Nielsen is. In the Legend Yacht Transport, AJ.
Corey Peabody in the white U9 in first place by an entire Rooster Tail. J. Michael Kelly, his teammate, 2nd place in red, coming in really close, trying to catch him. And then, of course, in 3rd. And then Flavor Pack coming in the back on 4th.
Looks like another Tri-City strong.
Peabody into turn number 3 for White's Furniture. Checkered flag is out to Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Lane number 3 victory for Corey Peabody. How about that? J. Michael Kelly now to the exit pin. Nielsen's on the inside, but he can't catch him. Peabody, it's another win on the Columbia River course for Strong Racing. 2nd place will go to J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. 3rd place, Jamie Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport Trust Company. And a 4th place finish for the Flavor Pack, Dustin Eccles in the 40.
Fun boat race, my friends.
This is a Dodge. It's a direct connection to the spirit of the past while powering this brand into tomorrow. It's fueled by the Brotherhood, but powered by lithium. I'm talking about batteries driving electric drive motors to deliver instant torque to all.
Gentlemen, we have Corey Peabody and Corey. Hey, let's do it again, huh?
Yeah, it was a great heat for us. Happy to get that Beacon Plumbing boat some 400 points. If you know, in past tech, pretty sure we should be good, but you never know. Happy to be here, happy to be a part of this festival, and looking forward to the final.
Yeah, it's a perfect weekend for you. I mean, everything's going your way.
Well, we're not done.
On the backstretch, Team Madison on the inside, Runny in the home street. You've got Tate in the Goodman Real Estate on the outside. And we will have a crossing of the infield, the ESCO electric infield, by both Madison boats. They did this previously.
Under 3:30.
Then here comes Daddy Jimmy King right around Tire Factory turn number 2.
And Bobby King headed right at you in the 12 Graham Trucking and Tire Factory turn 2.
This is going to be great seeing father and son battle it out right next to each other.
Lanes 3 and 4. Coming up on 3 minutes until the start of 3B.
So it looks like the teammates may have decided that it will be, oh, no, here cutting across is Andrew Tate in the Goodman Real Estate through the ESCO infield.
Just as you spoke.
I thought maybe he was going to let Runny have lane number 1, but maybe not.
Now, remember that conversation about teammates? And it was Andrew Tate who said, no, I wear gold and black. He wears blue and white. He doesn't like the term teammates. Well, he just jumped in front of him over there and said, if you want to jump inside of me, you're going to have to do something else other than what you're doing right now. 2:30 until the start. Here comes the Turbinator down the front straightaway.
Sounds good.
Yep, Jimmy King not running too very hard. Then at the top end of the race course, we'll watch him around and see just how far outside he wants to swing. But the key here is going to be, he's going to be on the outside, but Bobby King, is going to have an opportunity to run on the front row. So hopefully we get a good-looking 4-boat start here.
Coming up on 2 minutes. 2 minutes mark.
And
3B, the Trust Company.
And Bobby King is just passed the start-finish line with 2 minutes to go.
That's a tough spot to be, but he is way to the outside. You can do the math and figure out at 80 miles an hour how far you will travel in 2 minutes, and it's further than 2.5 miles.
So he's going way wide.
He's going to go way wide anyway. And watch, his radio guy is going to say go out and paint those outside course markers. Honestly, he's not going quite as wide as thought he would. He is in a tough spot right now.
Hey, fellas, listen to Jimmy King as he goes by, and listen to that boat and tell me if you think it sounds all right.
All right, meanwhile, we got the Madison boys coming down here. Andrew on the inside, Dylan just outside of him.
Buck 10.
Yeah, AJ, you got something there maybe on the Griggs.
Something's funny.
It doesn't sound quite right, but they're heading down into All Doors turn number 1, and we're inside 1 minute. Inside 1 minute. Tana Morissette just letting us know all of these drivers came out of the HRL driving league.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to disagree a little bit. I thought Jimmy King sounded wonderful as he came down here in the Turbinator, 43 seconds.
Sounds good around this corner. He sounded much better.
And Bobby King is way up there.
Yep, he's just entering turn number 3. White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods now on the outside. So I think Jimmy King may be forced inside. On the inside, lane number 1, Andrew Tate, Goodman Real Estate. Lane number 2, Dylan Runny in the 1, Home Street.
15 seconds.
Lane number 3 will be Jimmy King in the piston-powered Griggs Ace Hardware 610 K1A boat. Lane number 4 on the outside, the 12, Graham Trucking with Bobby King.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Jimmy King looked early. The speed is on the inside with Tate, but right there with him in the home street is Dylan Runny as they go to all doors, turn number 1.
Yeah, the 3 boats are going to get down there pretty quick. There's a lot of speed on the outside, that with Jimmy King. But the Madison boys are running 1-2 on the inside lane. Going to be Tate getting to the exit pin first.
Andrew Tate has the lead coming through turn 2, and man, the home street right on his heels at number 2, and then Jimmy King right on in third, number 3.
Under review is the start.
Yep. We do have a jump for the 3, and now we start to hear that piston-powered boat make the noise you don't want to hear, and he's lost power on the back stretch. Good call on the sound, AJ, earlier in the milling period. Off the exit pin, Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Tate, Goodman Real Estate in second place. The leader now, Dylan Runny, as they come on the front stretch to complete lap number 1. It's Madison versus Madison, but they're not teammates on the water right now. They're running against each other really hard. Trying to gain on the inside, the Goodman Real Estate with Andrew Tate, heading into all doors, turn number 1. Runny's with the lead.
You could, no, he doesn't have the lead. If he does, it's by a coat of paint. AJ, they're dead even.
Coming around turn 2, we got in first place Andrew Tate and the U91, the U1, the blue and white with Dylan Runny right behind him in second place. Coming up in third place, Bobby King trying to catch up.
Jimmy King, meanwhile, in the Griggs boat, looks to be inside the apex of turn number 3, White's Furniture, and out of the way. So that's certainly a good spot for him to be without power right now. Exit pin, the leader is Tate by almost a half a rooster tail as they come onto the front stretch. So Tate, they found the right engine, didn't they? They said they had a bigger bullet, and they're shooting it right now.
Yeah, they're shooting it right now, and it is responding. Andrew Tate, U91, Goodman Real Estate. I'll tell you what, Dylan Runny in the home street is not going to let him go, but Andrew Tate on an inside lane's got an absolutely gorgeous boat ride to the apex and AJ.
Look at the rooster tails coming around Tire Factory turn 2. It is Andrew Tate leading by almost a full rooster tail. The U1 and Dylan Runny trying to run him down the back stretch, but doesn't look like he's going to make it. Bobby King coming in third.
King at the exit pin at Tire Factory turn number 2, heading up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch. It is almost a rooster tail lead right now for Tate. Trying to reel him in, but he's going to be on the outside. Runny's got a long way to go to try to catch his teammate Tate in the Goodman Real Estate 91, and he won't be able to do it. At the exit pin out of the front stretch, your race leader, Andrew Tate, looking on the outside, though. Here comes a hard-charging Dylan Runny. He's flying the home street, but he's not going to catch Andrew Tate. Wow.
Wow.
He has an extra half a lap. That's a photo finish.
He almost had him.
And look at Bobby King representing.
Third place finish for the Graham Trucking and Bobby King.
He was making up a lot of ground as well. He had some to go, and I think he really put his foot into that last lap to see, okay, you know, it's the issue has been decided. Let's see what we got here.
Andrew Tate, that was quite the race, and Dylan Runny giving you props.
Yeah, that was pretty fun there with the kid. He did a good job. Thought he had me for a second.
Out there in the second lap, you were banging paint, as Brad said.
No, we didn't touch. It was clean. The whole thing was clean. It was just good old-fashioned racing. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was basically just the distance of the paint was about all it was. I mean, that's how close the race was.
Yeah, it was like I said, a great race. I mean, it's nice to go into the turn knowing that your lane's going to be there, someone you can trust. So it makes all the difference in the world.
What was the key? It was like about a 10.
And 11-10 seconds to the 5. 6 noses have tipped out toward the center of the Columbia River, just awaiting the 5-minute mark in 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark, 5 minutes. Oh, here we go. Everybody starts to pull away from the dock. Even Andrew Tate is going to come away. Looks like first out's going to be Jamie Nielsen, but once again, J. Michael Kelly in the U8 is going to pop up in the Beacon Electric. He's bringing Dylan Runny with him on his left. He's bringing Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing on the right. The Goodman Real Estate is away. AJ, how about that?
All 5 boats. Nielsen coming up first. Then, of course, we got the Beacon Plumbing. We got the Beacon Electric. Andrew Tate bringing up the rear. And in between, the U1 and Dylan Runny. This is going to be a great race.
We're still watching the Flavor Pack down here. He stayed at the dock. He didn't seem to want to even try. He has now come up on a plane away from the dock. So all 6 boats are up and running for the 2023 Columbia Cup. It's the final heat. It is a winner take all. Forget points, forget all that stuff. Winner take all. Going to get a little crowded up at your end, Michael.
J. Michael Kelly, along with Andrew Tate, Dylan Runny, all cut across the ESCO Electric infield. Meanwhile, Peabody and Nielsen come down the front stretch into traffic.
Yeah, they're all coming down the front straightaway here, with the exception of the U40, the Flavor Pack. We'll watch the boats as they come down here, pick them out of the sun. J. Michael Kelly is sitting in one. Where is Dylan Runny going to put it? He is just outside of Andrew Tate, but it's a small hole between Tate and Corey Peabody. Keep an eye on it. Looks like now he's got room, AJ, in the blue boat in lane 3.
Yeah, it looks like he managed to squeeze himself in there. It's hard to say, but man, looks like we got John Michael Kelly in lane 1, and then it does look like Andrew Tate squeezed in and managed to grab lane number 2. Outside in lane 4, looks like Dylan Runny in the number 1, and then Nielsen coming in lane 5 right now up the back.
Just inside 3 minutes. There's still a lot of milling in this period.
Oh, this is where it starts to get fun.
Anybody coming across the ESCO Electric infield? No.
Not this time. So
Do
they're
you
going to make a
feel-
full lap, huh?
Do you feel that the field, Brad Luce, is going to let J. Michael Kelly hold on to lane number 1?
Well, with where they are right now, and again, my unofficial timing mark, you don't want to cross start finish line before 2 minutes, so they're going to be in pretty good position to be behind that. I look for those boats to stay where they are and come all the way down and around. The one to watch, the wild card, is the Flavor Pack and Dustin Eccles, who just came out of turn 2 and is halfway up the back chute.
At what point can you duck in and try to snake a position?
You've got to have room, right?
Yep, you've
2
got to
minutes.
have room.
2 minutes.
Okay.
Tell me
And
when
right now, there's no room at the end.
No, there's not. These guys are going to be early. It's going to be early. 1:54.
J. Michael Kelly in
They are-
1, Andrew Tate in 2, Dylan Runny in 3.
They are going fast down the front stretch.
Oh my goodness, they're going. Oh boy,
Way
they are
early.
going to be early. J. Michael Kelly is crossing the entrance pin at 1:36. Oh,
The Flavor
boy.
Pack and Jamie Nielsen may be in really good shape.
Yeah, Jamie Nielsen and Dustin Eccles may be sitting in the best spot. And the reason we're saying that, for our new fans that are watching, you cannot drop below 80 miles per hour. If you do, it is a disqualification. Watch those boats up the backstretch coming up on 1:10 right now.
So maybe J. Michael Kelly did the proper math. He got into his parked spot, and he's like, the math in the head
Look at,
makes
he's
sense.
going really slow.
Well,
Yeah.
as long as he's going 80 miles an hour, that's all he needs to do. And sorry, you can't cut in front of me. We'll see if it pays off at the start-finish line. He's nailed his start finishes, a lot of the heats and stuff. So this is not a surprise to me.
He'll be going very slow.
Yeah, I think that whole group is going to
40
be going
seconds,
slow.
40
You want to be
seconds.
at that entrance pin at 20. It's 38 right now. Look at these two boats that are trailing the field. They're going to be able to bring the boat speed to the start-finish line.
J. Michael Kelly in lane number 1, Andrew Tate lane number 2, Runny in 3, Peabody in 4.
He's going to be early.
They're really early with 20 seconds. They're going to have to drop below 80. We're at 15 seconds, and the race could be over before it starts.
Wow.
J. Michael Kelly, no choice. He had to go across with 8 seconds on the clock. There's still 5 seconds on the clock as
Early.
Runny goes across. Tate's early. Beacon Plumbing's early. Nielsen on the outside with a clean start and boat speed. On the inside of him is Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack.
Well, we know we've got at least 2 or 3 of them across the line, so maybe it is Jamie Nielsen on the outside. Maybe it is Andrew Tate. The start is under review. We will call them as they are on the water.
Yeah, right now it's J. Michael Kelly out in front in the bright red Beacon Electric. Oh, my goodness.
I think you got 3 boats that jumped the gun, so this is going to be... Good thing is 5 laps. We're going to need a while to figure this out, who's in and who's not.
In turn 2, Eccles was just having some problems coming through.
So Jamie Nielsen on the outside is in pretty good shape. We're going to get the word here from Tana Morissette in just a minute about our jumping the gun situation and how many may have been early. Heading across the start-finish line, completion of lap number 1 of 5, J. Michael Kelly, the leader on the course.
3 have jumped the gun, the 8, the 1, the 91, all 1 minute plus.
Ooh. So that leaves Peabody's clean. So Peabody is the race leader out on the course and was clean.
Here comes Peabody. He's down just on the outside of Andrew Tate. He is officially your leader because Tate has jumped the start. Second place is the boat running physically 4th on the water. That is Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport.
So the white boat with the blue lettering, that's the Beacon Plumbing 9 with Corey Peabody on the Griggs backstretch, is in first place. Second place boat is Chartreuse, blue and red highlights. That's Jamie Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport Trust Company, heading up the backstretch. Your third place boat just out of Tire Factory turn number 2 right now, the Flavor Pack 40 with Dustin Eccles.
So just enjoy the ride as long as there's not a major malfunction. The Peabody winning streak will continue. I mean, I know there's still a lot of racing to go, but the way it's set up, this is just kind of a walk in the park, Kazansky.
Completion of lap number 2. Peabody will pull away from Tate at the Moss-Seller Memorial start-finish line and head to All Doors Incorporated turn number 1. Peabody is our race leader in the 9.
Yeah, and Andrew Tate's going to get by him here on the inside. But if we know that everybody's jumped the gun, so does Corey Peabody. But he's keeping his foot in the U9, the Beacon Plumbing. Those boats are tied together. Here's your official second place boat right now at the entrance pin of the lower corner. It's Jamie Nielsen.
Jamie Nielsen moving wide around Tire Factory turn number 2. Coming in third place, the U1. Dunny running up behind, and then of course the Flavor Pack in 4th, coming around turn 2 right now.
So back to J. Michael Kelly, who's leading out on the course, but again suffering the early start penalty as we complete lap number 3. Corey Peabody is the first boat not to jump the gun that's crossing start-finish line now with the race lead as we head into lap number 4 down the front stretch, All Doors Incorporated turn number 1.
Yeah, Corey Peabody comes down here in the white U9 of Beacon Plumbing. He's just looking for clean water right now, and he finds it outside the run made by J. Michael Kelly, AJ.
Tate on the inside, and their leader and champion of the Columbia Cup coming down the backstretch right now, Corey Peabody. Nobody has managed to solve this guy. Looks like he's running for another championship.
What a great run.
Well, to solve a piece of the Peabody puzzle is you can't jump the start.
Yeah, that was
give
unfortunate.
Yourself an extra, I mean, 1, 2, 3, and you know, especially with J. Michael Kelly, that's unfortunate. I mean, he was off by 20 seconds. He was like 20 seconds early.
Jamie Nielsen goes dead in the water at the exit pin of turn number 2, Tire Factory turn 2.
Nielsen is dead. The Flavor Pack going by him on the inside.
Flavor Pack, Dustin Eccles now in second place.
Wow.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now available on
Final lap. White flag is out for Corey Peabody. Peabody down the front stretch into All Doors, turn number 1.
Down here to the lower corner, there are 2 boats that are out front, or at least appear to be out front. Corey Peabody and Andrew Tate are still tied together, but Tate is a lap down. Bring our leader through the corner and up the backstretch, AJ.
There he goes, Corey Peabody. Gonna be, as long as, you know, he gets through the last lap, your champion for the 2023 Columbia Cup. Corey Peabody heading down the backstretch into home, right across start-finish line.
Up into White's Finish Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 3. Peabody, the race leader, on the outside. To the apex, to Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4. Peabody onto the front stretch. Tate still battling. He's not just going to let him go. Oh, there he comes to take the checkered flag. And it is out for Corey Peabody, and a perfect weekend for the 9 Beacon Plumbing. From qualifying to the checkered flag in the final heat.
Ah, the freaking Beacon Plumbing, that is.
Second place, Flavor Pack. Jamie Nilsson still without power over there in the Legend Yacht, and that's so Legend Yacht Transport Trust Company. So unfortunate for that team because he was doing so well and had second place.
Now
but Dustin Eccles will claim that.
Let's keep our focus on this because there's still plenty of points out there. Have we kind of shaken out now the boats that have to run the extra lap? There's still some points out there, so we got to keep an eye on that.
No doubt. Heading to Seattle, you want to get every point in the bucket you can take.
Yeah, speaking of the bucket, I'm on my way down to the pit area, but I think Flavor Pack, the U40, and Dustin Eccles is your second place boat, have the positions not changed yet. And then I think J. Michael Kelly, who just bit the bullet and took off, may be in third.
And he
you
just
guys
crossed
look
the
at
line.
it.
He just crossed the finish line.
Yep, we'll get more information from upstairs from the officials. Brad Luce and also Tana Morissette getting us the latest details from upstairs. Again, unfortunately, the home street, Goodman Real Estate, a little bit early, along with the Beacon Electric with J. Michael Kelly.
Well, you know, it sets up a heck of a seafair to wrap up the season. I mean, at least we did have a full final. Unfortunately, 3 of the boats basically disqualified themselves at the start-finish. So I guess technically, yeah, you had a final, but still, that's unfortunate.
Corey Peabody being congratulated by crew members of teams here. You got to catch your breath. I'm going to catch mine, so we can take a 5-second break here. If you're going to win the...
This was us a couple years ago, remember?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You went swimming.
Yeah.
If you're going to do this and keep winning here in the Tri-Cities, you're going to have to do a couple donuts on
Yeah.
Corey, you got your first win here, as we were just saying a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You love this course. That's got to be a special one. You've done it again.
Absolutely love this course. Hold on.
Go ahead. Jeff Bernard.
As we do this year, and I'm excited to see. I'm really excited for this race. I really feel like this is going to be a race that is going to offer among the best racing that we're going to see this weekend.
And Kevin, heading into this race, you're kind of keeping track of our points as we head into that final winner-take-all final tomorrow afternoon to wrap up the Hapo Columbia Cup at the end of Sunday's racing. After qualifying, let's go through some of those qualifying speeds that we have and who ended up getting the points. And all of a sudden, I've lost Kevin at Tire Factory Turn 2. There you are. Well, looks like we're going to head back down to the pits for our countdown. Go ahead, guys.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, as we get, we are probably roughly 1 to the 5. I don't know if Brad or Glenn are there.
That should have been the 5-minute mark. Here come the boats.
That was the 5. Yep.
Sorry, guys. 440 to the start.
The 3 is the first off.
Here comes the 40.
40, the 12 is off. The 8 staying. The last boat will be off. Will be the 8.
Yep, and he is away from the dock. 1, 2, 3, 4. Time to go. H1 Unlimited Racing 2021 Hapo Columbia Cup. Buckle up, guys. Here we go.
Can it be as good as the other classifications, the E350 and the GPs that we've seen so far today?
Yeah, they've got something to live up to here.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Look at these water conditions. Holy smoke, they're absolutely beautiful.
No wind across the Columbia River course right now.
Coming up on 4 minutes. 4 minutes to the start.
Up the Griggs backstretch is the Griggs, the 3 with Jimmy King. Behind him, Dave Billwalk and the orange, black, and yellow Beacon Plumbing, the 40. On the outside, with a lot of boat speed in the Graham Trucking 12, Andrew Tate is going to overtake Billwalk on the outside, heading into Shell Sun Market turn number 3.
A lot of time left, but the three was to the inside, and right now...
Yeah, Billwalk has cut across the ESCO Electric infield to the front stretch.
Sounds kind of Billwalk-esque.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, now see if he doesn't do it again on the lower end.
Now watch Miss Tri-Cities. J. Michael Kelly in the 8. Nope, he'll head up all the way around Shell Sun Market turn 3. Billwalk is in 1 as we come down the front stretch. Jimmy King also wants that lane, apparently.
Yep, he's going all the way down, and Jimmy King is going to cut the course right here.
Yeah, King's going across 305. 305 to our start.
Andrew Tate still well outside, still kind of hanging out in lane 3, lane 4 area. Stay right.
Will Miss Tri-Cities turn? No.
Nope. I don't think
Michael
he's
Kelly will
not turned up here. He's pretty far back, though.
He is, and he's way outside as he gets into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1.
244, 244.
On the Griggs backstretch, King. Billwalk is going to cut through the ESCO infield to the front stretch. Will J. Michael Kelly follow? No, he's going to continue up the backstretch. Looks like Andrew Tate's going to continue up the backstretch as well.
Guys, I've got some unofficial timing marks here that I keep an eye on. You don't want to be crossing start-finish line at 2 minutes. If you do, like Dave did, it's 2:15 right now. You're going to have to do something a little special here, or you're not going to be able to get around the course just once. So watch to see if anybody's crossing right at 2 minutes. I also watch the entrance buoy down here. You do not want to be here at
Jimmy King is
Here
crossing.
King. Now watch him with Billwalk coming across.
This is going to be interesting. Billwalk backs off.
Yeah, Jimmy King to the Griggs backstretch.
Billwalk backed off. They were... there was going to be a meeting of the minds there that neither one of them wanted to be involved in.
Yeah, and we've seen that before with Tate and Shane in the last couple of years. They gotten tight up there. So here they come across one more time. Now you don't want to be down here at $1.30, and it's $1.33 right now. And here comes Andrew Tate. I think he's going to be a
Billwalk and Jimmy King both cut across the ESCO infield to the front stretch.
Yep, and here comes Andrew Tate. He's going to claim lane number 1 in the 12 to Graham Trucking. Looks like Kelly wants to start this thing on the far outside. He's not even making a move to the inside. He's going to start wide.
Tate bounced and found some hope there down here in Tire Factory turn 2. But yeah, Tate's going to claim lane 1. J. Michael Kelly's decided he's going to try to win this from lane 5.
Wow. Well, he's scruffing off some speed. You know, he can do that and then pull back in when they get to start-finish and start the race.
Well, they're kind of getting lined up now. So Tate in 1, Billwalk in 2, King in 3, and it looks like J. Michael Kelly be in lane 4.
And just for clarification on the rule, whatever lane you are in, when you enter turn 3, that's the lane you have to hold and bring to the start-finish line. Go ahead, Michael.
All right, so Dave Billwalk back in lane number 2, just like the final in Madison. Will the boat handle better this time around?
And we talked about that earlier. If you're in lane 2, you do not want to be second across the line.
Watch that countdown. Andrew Tate, Graham Trucking, lane number 1. Dave Billwalk, Beacon Plumbing, lane number 2. Jimmy King in the Griggs U3 in lane 3, and on the outside, Miss Tri-Cities, J. Michael Kelly in the 8. Off the exit pin, turn number 4. 10 seconds to the start of Heat 1A. They're backing off the throttle.
3 seconds, 2, 1, mark.
It looked like it was just on time inside for Jimmy King. Dave Billwalk in second place as they come down the front stretch.
Boy, you're coming 3 wide down here, but it is piston power from lane number 3. King's going to get down here first, but a lot of speed off to his left coming.
Oh, Dave Billwalk closing the door quickly, and here comes Andrew Tate. They're going to go deck to deck into the Griggs backstretch. but it is the 3 that's got us about a couple boat lengths lead.
Dave Billwalk's boat is handling extremely well through the bottom end of the course and up the backstretch, the Griggs backstretch. Griggs' boat is in the lead as they head up the backstretch, but Billwalk is gaining on Jimmy King on the inside. And then in lane number 1, a nice run for Andrew Tate in the 12 as they get to Sun Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn number 3 and into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. 3 boats deck to deck to deck. The start is under review. The start is under review. Jimmy King may have been early, not quite sure if the 12 was early as well. We'll find out. Dave Billwalk is going to lead after lap number 1 coming down the front stretch.
Boy, but as he got company, you could throw a blanket across all 3 of them. King in lane number 3 still hanging right with him. But it is Tate and it is Billwalk. Dead even at the entrance pin, Kevin.
Tate is
Yeah, Kevin.
high on the air.
There we go.
There we go. Dave, and Billwalk coming out of turn 2 with a lot of boat speed. Jimmy King following about a rooster tail behind them. But J. Michael Kelly well back and forth.
Jimmy King, 1 lap penalty, jumped the gun. The only boat that was not clean at the start. Jimmy King, a 1 lap penalty. The boat leaders, so the race leaders are out in front right now. Tate on the inside. Billwalk on the outside as they get to turn number 3. Shell Sun Market turn 3. Buffalo Brothers turn 4. It looks like Tate's going to take the lead as they get to the exit pin of turn number 4 onto the front stretch. It is Tate on the inside with the lead in the Graham Trucking. Billwalk on the outside coming across start finish, and there's been some damage to the back fairing and the wing of Dave Billwalk's boat, the Beacon Plumbing.
Yeah, he doesn't have a wing. He doesn't have fairings. He also doesn't have the lead. He's about 3 lengths behind Andrew Tate, but it's still a good boat race out front.
Yeah, and the problem with not having those wings or fairings is you and that is exactly what happened to Dave Billwalk down here, and Andrew Tate now out to about a 1 rooster tail lead.
Watch Kelly on the inside now.
Yep, J. Mike has moved to the inside in lane number 1 as they come up the backstretch. Jimmy King still ahead of him, but Jimmy's got that 1 lap penalty. Back to the race leaders, Andrew Tate in the Graham Trucking into turn number 3. Checkered flag is out for heat 1A, and it's going to be Andrew Tate coming off the exit pin of turn number 4 in first place. Dave Billwalk has fallen back about a rooster tail now, and he's going to swing way outside wide at the Buffalo Brothers exit of turn number 4. The race winner, Andrew Tate. Graham Trucking, checkered flag is out. Second place for Dave Billwalk, and they're going to have work to do on the rear fairing and wing. Third place, J. Michael Kelly. Miss Tri-Cities and Jimmy King with a penalty after jumping the gun of 1 lap. He will have to continue around and finish 1 more lap. He was too early at the start of heat 1A. So working on the outside, I think the 8 with J. Michael Kelly found out something, and that is that won't work.
That you don't want to be on the outside. In fact, he's pretty much shut her down right now. Just kind of going in front of the fans down there, past the start finish line, headed towards the pits. Now he picks it back up.
And the other question would be, where did the damage occur to Dave Billwalk in the 40? One would imagine, Kevin, it was probably towards you and Tire Factory turn number 2.
Well, I can tell you that when I looked down here for lap 2, he had fairings and a wing. But he came around for lap 3, he didn't.
Is what's going to happen, and did they change things up after, putting themselves in position for a good hot qualifying lap? Maybe they changed some things up, and hopefully they went the right direction for competition. Joining us on the broadcast, Jeff Winnie with Bosch Appliances, and I know that you're a big part of hydro racing. You've been coming to Tri-Cities for boat racing since the 70s.
50 years this year, minus last year. My brother and I been coming over every year. Got some great stories over the years.
What's your favorite part about racing in the Tri-Cities? And obviously you have the opportunity to be over at Seafair as well.
It's the people over here. It's the family. It's everybody comes together. Everybody loves boat racing. They all pitch in. All the teams, if somebody's not having a good day, they'll pitch in. And you're right here where the action is, you know?
Yeah, and it sounds like somebody needs to pitch in a rear wing for Dave Villwalk.
Yeah, I saw the damage. Great racing, but,
yeah,
you know, he's aggressive. He's never let off the throttle.
All right, Heat 1B getting underway. Jeff Winnie with Bosch Appliances. You'll find them at Bunch Finnegan, 90s Columbia Drive in Kennewick, and go to bunch.com. They're heading to Kevin, Tire Factory, turn 2.
3 boats right by me now. The 11, the 1, the 9, all right next to me. The 440, they'll be the last off the dock. It's working its way towards me now as they head down to the Griggs backstretch.
3 minutes and 56 seconds, 3:55.
Well, where do you want to be, Brad?
Golly, where do I want to be? I want to be out front at the end of the third lap. Going out on a limb on that one. You know, with this heat and the way it's set up and the way the qualifying played, I don't know how hard Jimmy wants to really go out there and fight for an inside lane. But to your point, Michael, Corey's got a fast boat. They put the right combination in it, and he'll have his hands full if he wants to try and drive around Corey. So, I don't know. I don't think and we say this every year, and it's the old line. You can't win the Columbia Cup today, but you can sure as heck lose it. So nobody wants to do anything stupid here. Go out and get a bunch of points.
Heading down the front stretch to Bunch Finnegan, turn number 1, is the blue Home Street, the U1 with Jimmy Shane into turn number 1 now, followed by Corey Peabody in the 9, Pinnacle Peak Consulting. Then you have Jamie Nielsen in the bright J&D's 11. And just into Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4, the 440 Bucket List Racing with Dustin Eccles onto the front stretch.
250.
The 11 is cutting across the course right now.
And Jimmy's going to go in front of him. He's going to come out of the corner in front of Corey Peabody. He, Jamie Nielsen, in the 11.
So Nielsen will settle in on the Griggs backstretch over by the Home Street. Peabody will pass him up the backstretch. Oh, look at Dustin Eccles will go across the Esco Electric infield now to the backside.
I forgot about Dustin. Keep an eye on Dustin. He'll probably put that thing on the far outside. 220 to the start.
Yeah. That's what Dustin generally does when he's out here, is he'll just kind of stay out everybody's way.
For now, you've got the 1 on the inside.
And they're going to go all the way around the race course. You watch. I don't think you're going to see anybody cut where they are right now at 2 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be too early to cut front to back, wouldn't it?
I think it would. I think they're in really good shape. Right now, they can squirt it a little bit and come down here and give us the lanes they're in right now, Michael, as they come by.
Well, lane number 1, you've got Jimmy Shane. Jamie Nielsen is probably in lane number 3. I mean, he's technically going to slide over and be in 2, but he's pretty far outside. And then in lane number 4, we'll call it, is Peabody in the 9. Eccles, lane 5, way outside as they come down the front stretch. There's just a lot of room right now. And it looks like they're kind of tightening the field up as they head down the front stretch to Bunch Finnegan, turn 1.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see a pretty quick start here because it's 1:20 until the start. You don't want to be here at 1:30. Well, they're down here at about 1:12. And Dustin Eccles in the 440 on the far outside is caught up with everybody. Shane in 1, Nielsen in 2, Peabody in 3, and on the far outside, Dustin Eccles.
Jamie Nielsen's getting caught right into the wash of Jimmy Shane, though.
1 minute.
Jimmy Shane was, I'm not sure what Jamie trying to do there. Nielsen was down below and getting into lane 1, getting caught in that wash. So
they've been quite a ways outside on the front stretch, but lost some real estate heading through Tire Factory turn number 2 to the Griggs backstretch.
40 seconds. 40.
Jimmy Shane in the Home Street, lane number 1 for the 1. The 11, Jamie Nielsen, J&D's, lane number 2. Corey Peabody in the 9, Pinnacle Peak Consulting, lane number 3 on the outside in the 440 Bucket List Racing, Dustin Eccles. Shane on the inside. Countdown to the start of Heat 1B. 20 seconds to start at the apex of turn number 3 into turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers at the exit pin.
10 seconds.
Nielsen, Peabody, Eccles. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
3 seconds. 2, 1. Mark.
I don't know if Peabody was early, but he's leading the pack down the front stretch into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1 in lane number 3.
Yeah, it's Corey Peabody with a lot of speed on the outside. We'll check on the start and see if he was legal. But, boy, you want to talk about having a whole lot of speed off to your left. He's got Nielsen and Shane off to his left.
Shane just closed down the distance just in a heartbeat there. So Jimmy Shane on the inside, still in second place, but reeling it.
Officially, our start is under review as Corey Peabody leads by a half a rooster tail coming up the backstretch. Dustin Eccles is falling back in fourth place in the 440 bucket list. Watch Jimmy Shane, top end of the course. He's probably going to take the lead away from Corey Peabody. Shane on the inside, shorter track around. As they get to the apex and head over to Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, it's going to be Shane in the lead as Peabody pushed a little farther out wide, lost some boat speed. Nielsen is in third place at the exit pin now. Across the start-finish line, it's going to be Jimmy Shane, your race leader. 153.557 miles per hour for Jimmy Shane, lap number 1.
Coming down here to the lower end of the race course, we are on lap number 2 of 3. It is Jimmy Shane. Got pretty much a full rooster tail on Corey Peabody, but Corey Peabody is having to run way on the outside, Kevin. Keep an eye on him. He can't move over because Nielsen is still in there.
Yeah, he can't drop down to get down next to Jimmy Shane, so he's going to have to kind of keep it out in lane 3. He's keeping pace, though, for the most part. He's just about a rooster tail back. Jimmy Nielsen rolling up in third.
Yeah, Nielsen in third place on the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch as Jimmy Shane starts to pull away a little bit from Corey Peabody. And again, with lane number 1 position, he should have an easy time maintaining or extending the lead after going into Shell Sun Market turn 3 and Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Race leader is the one, Jimmy Shane in the home street. Pretty good corner up top, though, for Corey Peabody, and it looks like Peabody is kind of moved in a little bit because of the overlap now. Nielsen has fallen off the pace just onto the front stretch. Lap number 2 for Jimmy Shane, a 143.763 miles per hour.
Watch and see if Shane doesn't pull it away here. He dropped from 151 down to 143, and that allowed Corey Peabody to close the distance, but Corey's still right with him.
Yeah, we still wait to hear the word on Corey Peabody.
It's a 1-lap penalty.
1-lap penalty, okay.
He jumped the start.
So Jimmy Shane now knows that, I am sure. So Corey Peabody, as much as he's going to go neck to neck with this, it's unfortunately not for first place.
So up the backstretch, Jimmy Shane in the 1, the home street, ready to dive into Shell Sun Market turn number 3 at the top end of the course. Peabody on the outside. He hasn't backed off the throttle one bit coming up the backstretch and into turn number 3. At the exit pin of turn number 4 from Buffalo Brothers onto the front stretch, Jimmy Shane, the home street. Corey Peabody did not back off at all. Amazing run as they come to the start-finish line. Checkered flag is out. And Jimmy Shane is going to take the victory. Peabody's got to take one more lap around. So Jamie Nielsen will get second place points in the J&Ds.
He gets a big win out of this, coming in with 300 points there in second place. Good run for Jamie Nielsen.
And Dustin Eccles, Brad, good for third place in the bucket list.
That's 225 big points, and all of a sudden Corey Peabody comes home with a 169, assuming he finishes this extra lap. So there's a lot to be said about driving legal. You can have the fastest boat in the planet. Say it all the time, but it's got to be legal. I still like Jamie Nielsen in this U11, the J&Ds.
We did.
Alert over the Columbia River. That is one large osprey. Beautiful. Heading up towards the Neil F. Lamson pits now. It's not part of the Hapo over the river air show, but that is spectacular.
We don't see it.
It'll be coming to you shortly, Brad. It's going to clear the point down towards the local 598 Plumber Steam Fitters and IBEW tent where the Gold Star families are and head towards the Blue Bridge. You should see it now.
Nada. But
Well.
we're 452, and here we go.
We've always questioned your eyesight.
I know. Look at this. We talk about, the late afternoon boats away from the dock. Boy, is this a beauty. 2 silver boats, a red boat, and a chartreuse and royal blue boat. And the chartreuse and royal blue boat takes off ahead of everybody. But, man, for a moment there, they were all stuck together in that late afternoon sun. Kevin, you know how much I enjoy that shot. But now they're coming right to you. Lots of color.
Oh, especially when you got the 11 coming out and with the chartreuse and royal blue. At the 8 coming out after him. Whoa, bouncing out over the wake. The 9 after that, and the 12 going out wide.
And note the white wing on the 12 when it goes up there by you.
It is a little different, isn't it?
Yep.
It is. It looks like it doesn't quite fit exactly perfectly, but fits well enough.
It fits good enough. All right, coming up on 350. 350 to the start. Heat 1A.
Jamie Nielsen dives into Golf Universe turn number 3. And we'll jump over to Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, backing off the throttle a little bit in the J&Ds in lane number 1.
Michael.
At least for now. Glenn Boggin.
You'll be happy to know the Osprey has finally made it over the pits and is continuing its eastbound momentum.
Exactly. He knew the boats were coming out. He knew the boats were coming. Oh, he's heading to Clover Island. Fantastic.
Oh, I just wish we'd have strapped a GoPro to him.
There you go.
Shot of the pits.
Boy, what a pretty picture right now. Graham trucking on the outside. Andrew Tate.
They are all slowing down.
Yeah, Miss Tri-Cities lane number 2 with J. Mike, and lane number 3, Corey Peabody and the Pinnacle Peak Consulting, and that's just a parade lap heading down. That looks like Dash for Cash almost.
It does kind of look like that. They're all set up now. Tate starts to give it a little bit of a squirt on the outside. We approach 2 minutes and 50 seconds. 2:50 until the start. Kevin, boy, there you go. Got a camera? Snap that one.
I walked away from my camera, but yes, it looks great. But I think Andrew Tate's going to try to get out front.
Who is going to make the move?
I think it's Andrew. I think he decided, I don't like this. I don't like being on the outside of these guys. I got to give it a squirt, get ahead of everybody, and then make some moves. So
But
keep
does
an
he
eye on
cut?
Andrew.
Through the Esco Electric infield, anybody coming? Anybody going to come?
No, they've got to be worried about that 80 mile an hour.
Well, I think right now, sitting up there at 219, I think however they come off that corner, I'm going to be surprised if that's not how they come to the start-finish line. We are at 212 right now.
And
Andrew in one?
Yeah, well, yeah, he is. Yep, at the exit pin, a Buffalo Brothers turn 4.
But he is way out front.
Tate.
Yep.
And he's,
2 minutes.
he's going to have to do something.
He's fine, I think.
You really do.
Yeah, you
right.
don't want to be at the start-finish line. If you do the math on it, you'll find out you can't go 80 miles an hour for 2 minutes over a 2.5-mile area, but he's outside of that.
Is it J. Mike that does the old swerve, the S curves? That
Yeah.
you're trying to.
So the issue now is going to be Jamie Nielsen is almost riding right in his wake.
Yep.
Who's going to have lane 1? Well, at least now Tate's in front, right, and has it for now.
We'll see if he wants to. 130 right there.
But Nielsen's going to have to give up some real estate and come outside.
Or
He's
they
lost
cut.
his lane.
Or he cuts.
Now we keep an eye on Andrew here. See if he
Will
if
he
keeps
cut?
it
Because
one.
Andrew Tate couldn't cut. But does
And-
Jamie Nielsen? No.
Can't do it. Boat on the inside.
Yeah, but look at Tate burn some time. Go a little bit later.
Yeah. He went
Coming up on
wide.
110 to our start.
Out wide. Back into lane 1. This is where he won from in that heat 1A. And now I think the rest of the boats are going to shift out.
1 minute.
One lane.
So Tate in lane 1 as he comes up the backstretch. Lane 2, it looks like it's going to be Jamie Nielsen. They gave him room. J. Michael Kelly moves out to lane number 3. And Corey Peabody on the outside in lane number 4.
Tate's still way out front.
40 seconds. 40 seconds.
Well, he can take it slow. He won't have boat speed as much as he would like probably at the start-finish, but lane number 1's a pretty good place to be. Andrew Tate into Golf Universe turn number 3. Jamie Nielsen.
They're good.
J&Ds will be in lane number 2. Miss Tri-Cities, lane number 3 with J.
15.
Michael Kelly. Pinnacle Peak Consulting, lane number 4 with Corey Peabody. All the boats emerge at the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4 on the front stretch. Brad with our countdown.
We are inside 5. We're 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Mark.
And it is clean, and the boat speed appears to be on the outside. It's J. Michael Kelly in lane number 3 leading down the front stretch. Peabody in second place on the outside.
Yeah, boy, look at Jay Mike get down here with a lot of air underneath the 8 from lane number 3. Got speed off to his left, but man, he brought a lot of power down here, Kevin.
Oh, he's good. He looks really strong, but you know who looks strong too? The 11 and the 12, both on the inside, staying within that rooster tail of the 8.
Yeah, they had the shorter course around, Kevin, and they came out and had the lead for a moment. But, boy, look at J. Michael Kelly in lane number 3 starting to pull away a little bit on the backstretch. Tate's trying to reel him back in the 12, the Graham Trucking. Nielsen falling back a little bit in the J&Ds in lane number 2. Peabody, can't see him. I believe he's fallen back on the outside. We'll pick him up as he comes off the exit pin of turn number 4. Yep, he has. He's fallen way off the pace now. Race leader, it looks like it's almost deck to deck now. Tate on the inside, J. Michael Kelly on the outside, and J. Michael Kelly really has a lot of boat speed. Nielsen is climbing back into this and may take over second place by the time they get to Bunch Finnegan turn number 1.
Yeah, Kelly's leaving a lot of room in there for Nielsen. He's driving it out down the hallway, but it's a pretty wide hallway right now. But it is Kelly down here first with a couple of boat lengths.
Yeah, but Tate is making up that and going to maybe take the lead into the Griggs backstretch, but he has to slow down, and so J-Mike with his boat speed able to get back the lead as they head back.
Yeah, Peabody has fallen back up the Griggs backstretch. The race leader right now on the backstretch is J. Michael Kelly in the 8 Miss Tri-Cities. Second place on the inside, lane number 1, that's going to be Tate in Graham Trucking. Jamie Nielsen has fallen back off the pace. He's now a rooster tail behind Tate in the 12. Now, the real question is, can Peabody catch up and take over third place in the 9? That's who pin onto the front stretch. It's going to be J. Michael Kelly with the race lead. Tate challenging on the inside, but falling back a little bit. The white flag is out. The race leader, J. Michael Kelly, and the Miss Tri-Cities down the front stretch into Bunch Finnegan, turn number 1.
Yeah, well, all of a sudden with Nielsen dropping back, Kelly's been able to tighten it up on Tate, and that's the difference right now. He's driving lane 2 instead of lane 4.
And that has been a huge benefit to him because no longer does Tate have all that inside distance, that shorter distance. And J. Michael Kelly's got just only a slight longer track. He's able to maintain that boat speed in lane 2 and fly down the backstretch.
Tate gained a little bit of ground through Tire Factory turn number 2, but J. Michael Kelly starting to pull away coming up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch into Golf Universe turn number 3 at the top end of the course. On the inside, Andrew Tate in the Graham Trucking. Can he gain more ground on the inside? The checkered flag is out for Heat 2A. He will not be able to catch J. Michael Kelly at the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities takes the checkered flag in Heat 2A. Second place will go to Tate in the Graham Trucking. The battle for third continues. Peabody on the outside, on the inside, Nielsen. Jamie Nielsen and the J&Ds will take third, and the fourth place for Peabody in the Pinnacle Peak Consulting number 9. Fantastic run, and you know, we talked about how good the E350 races were, how good the Grand Prix America races were. That was a fantastic unlimited heat of racing. So, your winner will be the 8 with J. Michael Kelly, Miss Tri-Cities.
spun down the crane on the 3 and unhooked it.
Oh, good.
No, unhooked it.
Oh, back on the trailer.
Yeah, it's still sitting on the trailer, and they just took the slings off.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not good.
There'll be 3 boat.
Going to be a 3-boat heat.
Wow.
Man. And
well, Jimmy King didn't get any points for jumping the gun, and now he'll miss out on points in Heat 2B.
yeah, and we are coming up on 5 minutes. We're 5 seconds away. Sorry about that.
2.
We'll follow that story.
1. Mark. 5 minutes.
So you got a watch going too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. You know, it's disappointing that he won't be out there.
So 2 orange boats and a blue one.
Kicking away from the dock, heading to Tire Factory turn number 2, Kevin Rounce.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane in the Home Street Blue trying for a perfect Saturday. Top qualifier, won first heat. Now he's going to try to win Heat 2B. And you go perfect on the first 3 events. That's a pretty setup.
Pretty
for
solid,
final.
yeah.
40 goes right in front of me first.
So 440 heading up the back street. Backstretch, that is. That's one with Jimmy
40.
Shane. No, I'm sorry, the 40, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 440's just now away from the dock.
And then the blue.
Coming up on 4 minutes. 4 minutes to the start, right about now.
And just checking out Bill Walk's boat. The fairings are fine, and it's a wing reattached. Is that white in color?
Well,
yeah.
Excuse me, that's what we decided. We decided it was white.
I think so.
Yeah, we kind of had a bad angle of it. But yeah, I think it's white.
It is.
And, geez, cutting the race course. How about that?
He did, and there was a bird that had to get out of the way very quickly.
Better teach that bird the start sequence that Dave Vilwalk uses. It usually involves a few of those.
So the Beacon Plumbing down the front stretch, heading into the bottom end of the course. And Bunch Finnegan turn number 1 over to Tire Factory turn number 2 at the top end of the course. Hello, fans from Buffalo Brothers. Best fans around hydroplane racing at the west end of the course. Exit pin at turn number 4. Jimmy Shane. And Jimmy has already decided that lane 1 would be a good place for him.
It worked last time.
Coming across at 2:55. Coming across start-finish line, so still a long way to go. Keep an eye on Dave, see if he doesn't go up the top end and bring it around again, but I don't think he will.
Dustin Eccles on the outside in the 440, bucket list racing.
Jimmy might cut here.
Yeah, he's slowing down, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's backed off the throttle quite a bit. Bill Walk is through the ESCO electric infield to the front stretch.
Well, there, I'm going to stop trying to crawl in ahead of these guys. I got both of those wrong. Looking at 2:25 now until the start.
And Dustin Eccles going out way wide. Well, lane 5 or so, way out there.
Watch Dave.
Nope.
Going to come all the way.
So Jimmy Shane up the back stretch. The Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch, 4 locations to help you. Eccles is going to put the throttle in it at the 2-minute mark and head to the top end of the course. Will he dive to the infield here?
And this is where will Dave Vilwalk cut in here. We're under 2 minutes to go. Because he was hanging out in lane 2.
Here he comes. Is that him coming across?
Yeah, you're going to have Jimmy Shane come across the ESCO electric infield.
Oh, prevent Vilwalk from doing it.
And Bill Walk's going to do the same. And let's see who's going to jump into lane number 1 as we get to the JMC Motorsports start-finish line. Bill Walk has claimed lane number 1 now.
Wow.
Jimmy Shane will be in lane number 2.
He gunned it.
And it looked like he turned onto the race course upriver of the start-finish line, and on my map, that's a good move.
Oh, wow.
So all the boats now into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1.
At $1.10 to the start, 110.
Countdown continues for the start of Heat 2B to wrap up our first day of racing of the 2021 Hapo Columbia Cup.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Jimmy Shane hanging way back of the 2 orange boats. The 40 with Bill Walk on the inside. The 440, Dustin Eccles on the outside, and Shane in the middle in the home street. To the score-up buoy on the back stretch. Dustin Eccles on the outside. Now remember, they'll have the long trip around on the outside. But Jimmy Shane hanging back in lane number 2. just to that score-up buoy on the back stretch.
Yep, just to reiterate, whatever lane they're in, when they enter that corner, that's the lane they have to run in. 23 seconds, Mike.
Dustin Eccles way on the outside. You've got Jimmy Shane in the middle. He'll be in the hallway, and Dave Billwalk on the inside with a great move through the ESCO Electric infield to claim lane number 1. All the boats onto the front stretch with the countdown continuing to the start of Heat 2B.
3, 2, 1. Mark.
It is a clean start. Billwalk on the inside, but really good momentum for Jimmy Shane on the outside. They are deck to deck, heading down the front stretch into Butch Finnegan, turn number 1.
I'll tell you what, Jimmy Shane is not running away from Dave Billwalk. We'll see what kind of a corner Dave can get, but they're close together, Kevin.
Jimmy is flying, though.
Jimmy Shane had an incredible turn number 2, and at the exit pin already had a half a rooster tail lead over Dave Billwalk. Through the turn, Jimmy Shane was just perfect with full boat speed. Now Billwalk is back almost a rooster tail as they head up in turn number 3 with our Shell Sun Markets. On the inside, Billwalk. On the outside, Jimmy Shane. Shane with a almost rooster tail lead now as they get to the exit pin of turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers. Onto the front stretch, it's Jimmy Shane with a rooster tail lead over Dave Billwalk. Shane pulled away through the bottom end turn to leave Dave Billwalk a rooster tail behind now.
Yeah, it's full rooster tail as they come down here. It is all Jimmy Shane. At some point, Dave Billwalk's going to make a move to go to the outside, and he just did it. Dave Billwalk has moved to the outside. He's going to give up the fight and pick up 300 points. Look at Shane. He's just running beautifully.
Yeah, and he's starting to hug the buoy line, too. I don't know if he heard about J. Mike's time and wants to beat it, but he's just absolutely a rocket ship right now.
Well, when you list the boats that have the potential to beat Jimmy Shane, I think you could probably now remove the 40. Well, on the backstretch, it's a 3 rooster tail lead now for Jimmy Shane heading into the Shell Sun Market, turn number 3 at the top end of the course. Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Jimmy Shane has extended his lead with a near perfect turn. A little bit of rough water at the exit pin, but he's fine. On to the front stretch.
Maybe tomorrow we'll get an opportunity to see the 1 and either the 8 or 1 and the 12.
I wanted to see the 1 and the 3 out there, honestly, and it's just a shame we don't have Jimmy King in the Griggs Ace Hardware boat.
Jimmy coming down here to the lower corner on a third and final lap here of our Heat 2.
White flag is out, and Dustin Eccles in third place with some big points for the 440 bucket list.
Some rough water down here right now, but Jimmy gets through it without too much trouble.
Yeah, Dustin Eccles backing off the throttle coming across that start-finish line. That's interesting. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue. He's losing power on the front stretch.
Yep, and he's way on the outside of the race course, and he is turning to the outside of the race course.
Dead.
He's throwing in the towel.
Yep, top end of the course. It's the final 2 turns in our 4-corner super speedway. Shell Sun Market turn number 3. Jimmy Shane in the home street. Into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, swinging a little bit farther out wide. A photo op for the Buffalo Brothers crew down there on the west end of the course. To the front stretch, Jimmy Shane in the U1 home street takes the checkered flag at the JMC Motorsports start-finish line. Second place for Dave Billwalk in the Beacon Plumbing, the 40. And Dustin Eccles, unfortunately, losing power on the front stretch after completing lap number 2. We'll get a DNF. Big points for Jimmy Shane. And Dave Billwalk gets a much-needed boost on the points because he didn't get any after Heat 1.
Yeah, and I think also Dave Billwalk in that heat, he learned a lot. He and Kelly, I think, probably learned a lot. He got himself on the inside of Jimmy Shane. He ran him hard into the corner. He ran him hard through the corner and for 1 lap. And I think now they know just exactly where they are versus that powder blue boat. And that powder blue boat's a strong one. I think he ran him hard for a lap, threw in the towel, said, all right, I'll take my 300 points. We're in good shape.
So big points for Jimmy Shane in the 1 home street, and a nice finish for Dave Billwalk. Had the inside lane, and that was maybe the most exciting part of the race was the milling period and the way that Dave Billwalk was able to cut through that infield right in front of us to claim lane number 1.
Yeah, that was a pretty aggressive move, which tells me I think he really wanted to get in there and see how he measured up. Now he knows.
Yeah, and it really, of the fleet and the way that that boat handled the one home street with Jimmy Shane through turn 1 and 2 on that first lap, it was just unbelievable how quickly he was able to gain ground and then pass up the boat on the inside. Dave Billwalk in the Beacon Plumbing.
Yeah.
So our winning driver heading back to the Neil F. Lamson pits, and our pit reporters ready to talk to him and find out what their reaction is and hear from Dave Billwalk too. Meanwhile, Dustin Eccles in the 440 will take that slow tow back over to the Neil F. Lamson pits, unable to claim the third place points with a DNF, unfortunately, and it did not start that time for Jimmy King in the 3, the piston-powered Briggs Ace Hardware.
And I think, guys, that might be where I stop. I'm going to see if I can find Ed or somebody here with regards to the 3 that can tell me what happened.
Yeah, that's a tough one, isn't it?
It is a tough one. There's a lot of people up on the boat right now. Jimmy King himself is up on the boat. So there's a lot of people here.
Today, 60 years after virtually unknown Seattle instantly went big time, Seafair is celebrating a milestone of Thunderboats and Rooster Tails.
Dad's dad was actually here at the very first Gold Cup when the Slow-Mo was brought back out from Detroit. Our families have been involved, and I'm honored, as Kaylee is honored, to be racing at this race, especially on the 60th anniversary.
60 years of racing translates into hundreds of boats, thousands of fans, and a countless number of memories. Today, you will journey down Hydro's memory lane while keeping an eye on the present and future.
To have the opportunity to have this 60th race and be involved in it is an honor in and of itself. If I could win it, well, that'd just be icing on the cake.
So fire up the grill, invite the family, friends, and neighbors, then get ready. This is KIRO 7's exclusive presentation of the 60th annual hydroplane race in Seattle. It is Seafair time, and we're set to present the 2010 Albert Lee Cup.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars, wasting tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees?
Run the heat in which he literally created a condition for himself, planned it in advance, almost 3/4 of a lap in advance, and was able to take advantage of it. This guy is watching the other fellas thinking, how can I put myself in a position to win? So I'm going with J. Michael Kelly and an upset today.
All right, Mike, thank you so much. We'll talk to you a little bit later.
Now, a driver profile presented by 76. We're on the driver's side.
Perhaps the most prominent driver currently on the H1 Unlimited hydroplane circuit is Auburn, Washington native Dave Villwock. Racing since 1992, Villwock now drives the Spirit of Qatar, formerly known as the Miss Elam Plus. Villwock has racked up 60 career victories, just 3 away from becoming the all-time winningest driver in unlimited hydroplane racing history. Last season, the Elam Plus was first in victories, but finished second overall in points behind the Oh Boy Oberto Miss Madison. After a win at Seafair last year, Villwock seeks to record yet another victory on Lake Washington.
Driver Profile is presented by 76. Bring your 76 gas receipt to their tent at Seafair and get a free gift.
Welcome to the Albert Lee Cup at Seafair. It is time to go racing with unlimited heat. 1A, here is the rundown. The Oh Boy Oberto, Steve David on the inside, 2 straight driving championships. Greg Hopp has been fast in the Lay's Kettle Cooked boat. Miss Albert Lee, Brian Perkins. The Miss Red Dot, Kip Brown. Nate Brown is the team owner there. The Spirit of Detroit, Miss Jillians, with Cal Phipps at the controls, and the Miss Peterson May, the rookie John Zimmerman behind the wheel. It's unlimited Heat 1A. And the clouds have broken just a bit, but the drizzle continues here on Lake Washington as we get set to race. And Chip Hanauer, as we look at this list, Steve David has it pretty much the way he wants it, doesn't he?
Not really. It's a big change here. Yesterday, Greg Hopp in the Lay's Kettle Corn really stepped up his speed. Steve David thought as long as he didn't draw Villwock, he was fine. But now all of a sudden, he's got his hands full of Greg Hopp.
Pat O'Day, the big boats are back on the waters of Lake Washington.
Olardo Oberto just came by our start-finish line tower, passing out Pepperoni, and Steve David wants to pass everybody. And in his Oberto, he wants that national championship, but he better look out because Greg Hopp and Kit Brown are both looking quick. Mike Fitzsimmons will call it for.
Here they come around the top of the course now, Patrick, as they are already established in terms of their lane. Steve David in the Oberto in lane 1. The Lay's boat with Greg Hopp Up in lane 2, Albert Lee in lane 3, the red dot in 4 with Kip Brown, the Julians with Cal Phipps, and the Peters and May in the 6th lane. They come to the line. Looks like we're going to have a picture-perfect start here. Steve David nails it as they come down to the first turn here with plenty of speed. This was one of the better starts we've seen this year, Chip, and we've got a lot of traffic.
Brian Perkins right there in the lane 3. He really's got a lot of boat speed. I'm really amazed. That's the fastest I've seen that boat ever go.
And they get them sorted out of the exit pin down there, and it's down the back chute. Steve David has got the lead, but it looks like the real battle is between Brian Perkins and Greg Hopp, who are side by side in second place and within the rooster tail of the old boy Oberto. Now, as you know, Steve David has a slim lead of 370 points in national high points, and he did not pick Dave Villwock in this heat, so he has a chance to go up on him depending upon what luck befalls Villwock in the next heat, and he's trying to make sure he gets away clean with this one. At the end of lap number 1, Steve David in the old boy Oberto has got a very strong lead, and Greg Hopp is now being challenged by Kip Brown in the 17 boat.
And Dave turned the first lap at 142.051.
142.051 for the first lap. Steve David out in front in the old boy Oberto and in the points chase, but right behind him and still putting on the pressure is Greg Hopp, and then Brian Perkins in the Albert Lee is behind those two in third place. And we've sorted this out now to a certain extent, but we still have some pressure on the outside from Kip Brown, who has now passed the Albert Lee going into the turn number 2, excuse me, the north turn of bridge turn, in a real hurry up there. Out of the corner comes the old boy Oberto. We got several of them bunched up there, and our finish order in the second lap is going to be the old boy Oberto out front. Still Greg Hopp in the Lay's Kettle Cooked is right in their second place now, just now passing. It'll be Kip Brown driving the red dot as he comes by. Now there's a disabled U100 boat. The Kettle, the Lay's Kettle looks like it got cooked, and unfortunately he falls back to 4th place now as Stephen David running some rough water up the back chute has everything his way. Kip Brown has established second place, and Chip, it looks like Kip Brown has got a lot of boat speed out there.
Very surprising the boat speed he's shown. And I also want to talk about that start. In the years past, we've talked about boats fighting for lanes. These boats were assigned lanes by their qualifying speed. Back to you, Mike.
Yes, they were. And coming down to pick up 400 points in a first place in Heat 1A, it's going to be just the way he had planned it. Steve David in the old boy Oberto, about 3 rooster tails ahead of his nearest competition, and that's because his earlier nearest competition broke just on this front straightaway. Across the line now comes Kip Brown. Very, very impressive run for Kip Brown in the red dot. Albert Lee comes across the line in third place with Brian Perkins, and finally getting the beams back again is the U100 Lay's Kettle Cooked. And 4th place overall, well, we got a little bit of a battle going, but it looks as though it's going to be John Zimmerman in the Peters and May, followed by the 13 boat Miss Jillians with Cal Phipps, who's had some mechanical difficulties out here getting qualified and getting in this race.
All right, Steve, this turned into a race for second place pretty quickly. Did you mean this to be a statement race?
We're really just trying to make the Oberto run better each time. We tried a different combination. It worked really well in this heat. The goal is to win this thing come time for the final, so we have to progress every heat, but certainly we'll take those 400 points and move on down the road.
How about conditions? That's been the question of the day. We've had rain, we've had wind. Has it been affecting you guys while you're out there?
Seattle's always rough, so it's what you expect and you set up for it, so the conditions were perfect, and the Oberto loves this rough water.
Yeah. This is a great start then for you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Steve, back to you.
All right, Lee, and here are now the official results. Again, oh boy, Oberto and Steve David on top. The speed showed by the red dot. They pick up a second place. Lay's Kettle Cooked along with Peters and May, Miss Jillians, and the Miss Albert Lee Appliance. And we continue unlimited racing with Heat 1B. Here is your lineup. The fastest boat on the water this weekend, Dave Villwock, starts on the inside. Then Jeff Bernard in the FormulaBoats.com. J. Michael Kelly in the Graham Trucking boat. Mark Evans is back in the race along with Mike Webster, and Ken Muscatel in the U25 Car Pros could not get that boat going. It's unlimited Heat 1B. Cool cloud, a little chop on the water, but Chip Hanauer, the race here in this particular heat may be between Jeff Bernard and J. Michael Kelly.
This Formula Boat team is running 3 boats, and Jeff Bernard wants nothing more than to beat his teammate, J. Michael Kelly. I think we're going to really focus on that second place race between those teammates.
Matt, Dave Villwock, 10-time winner here in Seattle, wants to win it again.
And he's got crosshairs on his back. These guys want to get him. There's 3 red boats. One has a bird on the tail. The other has a football-sized Graham Trucking sign, helping you separate those boats. Mike Fitzsimmons, it's your call.
3 boats from Indiana in there with the Spirit of Cutter, and that's, of course, the 96 boat. There are 3 former Seafair winners here on these waters in this competition, and Dave Villwock is one of them. So is Mark Evans, 2 of them in this heat. As they come around, of course, the starting positions are predicated on the qualifying speeds, and that's what put the 96 boat inside the Spirit of Cutter. And Dave Villwock has got a good head of steam coming down here to the line. We're going to have a perfect start here. Leading him across the line, that was J. Michael Kelly in the Graham Trucking. He had an absolutely picture-perfect start in the 3-lane as they come across. Both he and Jeff Bernard, along with Dave Villwock, go rocketing through that first turn. Chip, Dave Villwock has phenomenal speed.
He does, but watch these 2 boats here. Those are the 2 teammates we talked about. Jeff Bernard out-qualified him by a little bit, so he's got the inside lane, but watch how fast J. Michael Kelly's working on that outside.
Now you're seeing the Spirit of Cutter up the back chute, and the boat seems to have a lot of air underneath it, and if you think that's the case, you're exactly right. That's the way Dave Villwock likes to drive this boat. He likes to fly it. The least amount of wettest surface equals the least amount of drag, and the faster the boat will go. And there's no question about it, but this one is the class of the fleet when it comes to speed. In second place among the Reds, it is Jeff Bernard. And in the 5 boat, the formulaboats.com, followed by J. Michael Kelly in the Graham Trucking in that order. And their teammate, Mark Evans, is in 4th place right now in the Washington Truck Dispatch, followed by the Matrix System boat. That's Mike Webster out of Pennsylvania.
Boy, J. Michael Kelly right there made a crossover move. He went over Jeff Bernard's weight to get inside of him. And if Jeff Bernard doesn't know he's there, his radio team should tell him that. J. Michael Kelly still's got a chance there on that inside to get him, and I think this is going to be a good boat race.
Oh, when he got a little loose there, we saw an awful lot of the underside of that race boat for J. Michael Kelly for a moment there as he took that inside lane. He's fighting a little slop from the wake of his teammate. Meanwhile, staying out in front of it all and attempting to get 400 points and stay even with Stephen David as far as the point spread is concerned in national points. That is the Spirit of Cutter, and that is Dave Villwock coming across the line. 1st place, 2nd place, it's Jeff Bernard. 3rd place now by a rooster tail and a half. It is the Graham Trucking and J. Michael Kelly. And in 4th place, still way back, of a half a straightaway away from, or a half course, I should say, away from the lead boat. That would be Mark Evans.
It'd be interesting to know if Jeff Bernard did not pull in a lane in that floating bridge turn, because Kelly was coming up on the inside, and suddenly Kelly had to go through his rooster tail. I think he changed lanes, but we'll see what the referees say.
It was a little tight up there, but one thing's for sure, if you are not having to entertain a crowd, you can do things your own way, and that's exactly what Dave Villwock is about to demonstrate as he comes down to eye the checkered flag and win Heat 1B of the Albert Lee Cup at Seafair. And the Spirit of Cutter across the line with the flag. 2nd place, Jeff Bernard. He comes across the line about 3 rooster tails back of the Spirit of Cutter, and in 3rd place, about by the same distance, it would be the Graham Trucking.
And Villwock turned a quick lap in that first time around, 145.834.
We have a penalty on Bernard, just as you observed there, Mr. O'Day. It appears as though he did not give a sufficient overlap, and that means his teammate picks up 2nd place. That would be the Graham Trucking. So, and this, by the way, Chip, is the kind of racing that we've been seeing from J. Michael Kelly. Put on the pressure, make sure you make somebody make a mistake, but make sure you're safe in the process. That's just what he did.
I'm a big J. Michael Kelly fan. Remember, we pointed out that looked like it could happen. J. Michael Kelly did the crossover. I hope maybe we could show
results. Unlimited Heat 1B. And Dave Villwock, of course, taking the win. Graham Trucking, followed by Washington Truck Dispatch, Matrix, Formula Boats, and the Car Pros boat did not start. And we're getting set to go racing for real, for live here on this Sunday morning with the 2 fastest boats in the same heat. Heat 2A coming your way shortly here at the Albert Lee Cup at Seafair.
preparing Steve right now. They're putting the final touches in, getting the boat in the water. This is his second run of the day. He took the boat out a little while ago just to test the waters and to test some changes that the crew is only terming at this point special sauce. They're not really cluing Steve into some of those changes that they had made before the run because they didn't want him to overthink it. They want to keep it simple for the driver, and Steve says that he really appreciates that the crew does that for him. So they're just putting him into position right now. He says he is not taking any of these heats or any of the races for granted. He knows that every single one of them counts, but he's going to get a look at the conditions for today as well. That was a real issue yesterday. The rain, the wind, it seems it's all back today. He says he's not concerned about it, that actually the choppy water is what the Oberto likes to run in. So he's actually excited to get out there and really give it a spin. Back to you.
All right, Lee, who will be following things in the pits along with our Chris Francis down there. The change, the lanes, the lane assignments today, as opposed to yesterday, easy going, Chip, yesterday. Today, not so easy.
Well, first, let's go back to years past where they fought for the lanes. Now they're assigned lanes in the first heat by qualifying speed. But this heat is very special because they're reversing the order of finish from the second heat. So now Dave Villwock is on the far outside, and just to his inside is Steve David and Oberto. This is the race that Steve David in the Oberto has to beat Dave Villwock to have any chance of getting that inside lane for.
Hey, what do you say we go racing? Heat 2A for the unlimited boats here on Lake Washington. Here are your headlines. This is where the battle is joined. It begins now. The Oberto and the Cutter boats, they're on the water. What about the Graham trucking boat? Fast and hungry. Let's see how they measure up. And the Red Dot boat, they've got some speed today. Can they compete? We'll see. It's the unlimited heats, 2A. And here are your Muckleshoot starting lineups for this Heat 2A. The Miss Albert Lee, Peters and May, Red Dot, Graham Trucking, and there to the outside, the Oak Boy Oberto, and then the fastest boat on the course, the Spirit of Cutter. Speaking of the course, as we take a look at the waters, again, a gray, kind of lumpy day out there, but the boats are out. They're getting set. Chilly 66, but the wind's not kicking up too badly as we head off to check out the drivers at the controls of the fastest boats on the water. And here you go, the Albert Lee Perkins boat, the U-21 with Brian Perkins at the controls. Mike.
And Brian's going to have to show something here. He only got 169 points in competition yesterday. He needs to step it up because his performance was not strong.
In the Peters and May boat, John Zimmerman, the rookie, and Chip, the adrenaline's kind of going a little bit in him, I would think.
It is, but he's really got a short sword here. This boat was leased from Fred Leland to replace the boat that was damaged in Detroit when J.W. Myers hit the wall. He doesn't really stand much of a chance here.
Nate Brown's team with his nephew Kip Brown at the controls, the Miss Red Dot. Mike, they showed some speed yesterday. We didn't know they had.
They did, and he'll be starting from the middle of the pack also, so he will be a factor on this start. Watch where that yellow, red, and blue boat goes.
J. Michael Kelly, Mike Fitzsimmons, not so dark horse, Chip.
You know, not so dark horse, especially from yesterday. I think this is one of the most gifted drivers I've ever seen. He pulled a great move yesterday to give him a second place. He's one to watch not only in this heat, but all day long.
I don't know how much more we can say about the Oberto team and Steve David, other than that they're the defending driving champs. And Mike, they need to get points because they're competing head-to-head with Cutter.
Absolutely, the monkey's on this boat's back and Steve David's back. He is basically taking a hit on 17 on the blackjack table.
Lee Stoll, the sausage boat, is out on the water. Steve David, a confident driver.
He's not expecting that big lead that he had in the heat yesterday. The crew is saying that he's expecting this to be a tight, packed race. Not only what he does right, but also watching out for the other drivers and, of course, keeping his eye on the Spirit of Cutter.
And that's the boat just to his outside, the defending champ here at Seafair, Dave Villwock.
You know, there's a national championship at stake. Dave Villwock is behind because of some mistakes he made. He needs to beat Oberto every time he gets them so he can win that national championship that will come to a conclusion in Cutter.
Chris Francis, the fastest boat on the course.
There's no question that's
Got a confident driver here in Dave Villwock, just like Steve David. And as a matter of fact, I've got a prediction here of 2 laps from one of the crew members here before he overtakes Steve David, guys.
All right, Pat, here they come, the big boys.
Steve David, if he's going to win the national championship again, the place is Lake Washington. The time is now. He needs to win this heat. Mike Fitzsimmons calls him.
As they come to the line, Pat, we've 10 seconds left on the clock, and of course the guys to watch are on the outside, but the fellas in the middle, J. Michael Kelly and Kip Brown, are going to control this start to some extent. We hit the line a little late, but they are at the front end of that fleet as they come through. You're watching them in the middle of your screen, and right now, Dave Villwock is way outside and hanging back, just waiting to see how this lower corner sorts out. Chip?
Mike, if that was either a perfect start or J. Michael Kelly jumped the gun, it is going to be very, very close. If he didn't jump the gun, that was perfect.
And up the back chute now, we have J. Michael Kelly running out front at this point, along with Kip Brown to the outside of him and trying to drive around boats that are not quite as fast, but fast enough to cause a problem. That is Steve David in the Old Boy Alberto, and you're seeing that we've got foggy conditions on the race course at this time. Peters and May, which went down at the first quarter, has gotten restarted. Across the line, Kip Brown will lead them with J. Michael Kelly in second place, and in the outside lane, we've got Steve David in the Old Boy Alberto, and here comes very strong from the far outside, the Spirit of Cutter and Dave Villwock. As they come into the corner, lots of convergence into that turn. But Kip Brown's getting a great boat ride out there in this rough water, and he's running very well inside as they pass by the U-21 boat there, the Albert Lee. Up the back chute now, and let's check out how this continues to sort out. The Albert Lee putting on the pressure from the inside, and Kip Brown, and that's the view from the Albert Lee as we look right out the window and see exactly what Brian Perkins is seeing as they come out of this corner. Lots of traffic. Mike, Kip Brown has gotten a penalty, is going to have to go another time around, and that leaves the lead now at this point to the Graham Trucking boat.
Mike, I think the big story here is now what's going on up front, which is a great boat race. But Dave Villwock is back in, what, 4th or 5th place. This means a lot with regard to the national championship and lane pick as we go through the day today.
He's in physical 4th place. But of course, the boat that leads the green boat, green and white, Pat O'Day, is actually penalized. He's not really the leader. But here we have J. Michael Kelly taking advantage of the situation from the middle of the race course. He's going to get a checkered flag if he can hold it. But right now, Stephen David is putting the pressure on him.
The quickest lap so far has been 139. That was the first time around. In these waters, that's flying.
Mike, J. Michael Kelly, as we've been touting all weekend long, has driven great. He did a great move yesterday. That was a perfect start, and look what it results in.
And what it results in is 400 points because J. Michael Kelly and the Graham Trucking takes the checkered flag in this heat 2A. And Stephen David will take second place, but as you mentioned earlier on, the Spirit of Cutter just didn't seem to have the ability to catch these guys from the outside. Whether that was deliberate, I doubt it was, because the points that have to be given up because of that outcome are simply not going to be acceptable.
Now, we know Kip Brown was penalized a lot, but are you sure that the Albert Lee appliance was also Brian Perkins?
I'm not sure that Brian Perkins. Kip was the only one that
Brian would be your winner if he wasn't, if he didn't jump the gun, and the Graham Trucking with J. Michael Kelly would be second.
Thank you for sorting that out, and you're correct about that. Physically, that was the case. I confused those two boats. It was Kip who was in the trouble, but not Brian, and Brian physically finished across the line first.
I tell you, nobody could have predicted this heat. This was an amazing heat, and it's going to have ramifications not only for today, because now lanes are assigned by point totals. It's going to have big ramifications for the national title. So this one heat, as Pat said going into it, might be the most important heat of the season.
We're ready to go racing again. Heat 2B for the Unlimiteds here on Lake Washington. Here are the headlines for this one. Greg Hopp in the U100. He had a fast Heat 1. Can he do it again in Heat 2B? We'll see. The 3 Formula boats are racing today, led by young Mr. Bernard. Let's see how the red boats do. And the Flying Doctor, Ken Muscatel. Does he use tape and glue and paper clips to hold together that boat? The U-25 will find out. These are the stories in Heat 2B. Taking a look at the boats here in Heat 2B for the Unlimiteds, the Miss Jillian's, FormulaBoats.com, Washington Truck Dispatch, Matrix, the Lay's Kettle Cooked, and there's Car Pros on the outside. Ken Muscatel's boat. As we look out at the water again, a little bit lumpier than a few moments ago, and now those clouds are really starting to drop down low to the deck. We'll keep an eye on that. Winds, however, staying at about 4 miles an hour. Let's check in on the drivers who will be controlling these fast boats in not such great conditions. The top of the list, the Miss Jillian's, Cal Phipps leading the way, Mike.
Cal has had a disappointing weekend. His boat has not been performing well. He got a couple of fast laps out of it, but mostly he's had mechanical gremlins. Hopefully, they're gone and he's ready to go.
The U5 FormulaBoat.com with Jeff Bernard at the controls. Just yesterday, penalized, Chip.
Last year, Jeff Bernard was kind of the first string driver for the Formula Boats team. J. Michael Kelly has kind of stepped into that first string. Jeff Bernard is not happy about it. He needs to make a statement here.
Chris Francis in the pits. Are they ready to make that statement, Chris?
I think they are. They are still actually in awe of what just happened in that last heat. They are buoyed, no pun intended, by the confidence they have from what J. Michael Kelly did. So they'll be inside, and Jeff Bernard, you mentioned the penalty in the last heat. Hopefully it doesn't happen to him this time and puts on a good show here.
The Truck Dispatch, the U57, a former champion here in Seattle, Mark Evans.
It sure is nice to see Mark Evans back. His name, the Evans family name, figures so much into Seafair history, and to have Mark back in the saddle after a serious back injury and have him come back to Unlimited Hydroplane Racing. Same old personality, just bubbling over all the time, no matter what he drives.
Matrix System boat hasn't shown a whole lot, but Mike Webster, a young driver, the Rookie of the Year a year ago, Chip.
This is a total family operation. Father and son put this boat together. Mike is just trying to demonstrate his ability as a driver. They know they really can't do much damage with this boat.
I'm pulling for the Lay's Kettle Cook because, Mike, they just sent up some potato chips up here to the booth.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good choice anyway, though. At Detroit, this boat was very fast. At Tri-Cities, not so fast. Here, seems to have found the speed again. He's coming from the outside, though, on the start. So this will be interesting to see if he hooks up with the Formula Boats out of that first corner.
Dr. Ken Muscatel tore that boat up a couple of weeks ago in Tri-Cities, but Chip, he's got it back together again.
Ken Muscatel was the guy that really put the Cutter deal together. He desperately wants to get back, but that damage that he incurred in Tri-Cities just got fixed. This is his first heat of the Albert Lee Cup. I don't think he's going to make it to Cutter no matter what he does here.
Lee, they've been working hard on that boat all morning.
Slept in 48. Some of the crew telling me they hadn't slept in 48 hours trying to put this boat back together. The duct tape was still going on it as they were pulling away from the dock. So to say that Ken and the crew are anxious for this heat is an understatement.
And with a welcome to all the listeners on 950 KJR and worldwide at KairoTV.com. Pat O'Day, the floor is yours.
Well, when the helicopter shot comes up for you watching on television, look at the number 2 lane, which is Jeff Bernard, probably the quickest boat out there. But out in the number 5 lane will be Greg Hopp in the Lay's Kettle Cooker, the U100. Those are the 2 quickest ones, and they should be able to stage quite a battle here in Heat 2A or 2B.
They come around with 20 seconds left on the clock. Cal Phipps will have the inside lane, but not the advantage as far as horsepower is concerned. The advantage clearly from lane 2 is going to be Jeff Bernard in the Formula Boats, but let's watch the 100 coming from the 5 lane on the outside, and he's going to come on strong as well. We're a little early at the line, 1 second. We're perhaps okay. If so, Jeff Bernard was right there when he had to be. A little bit of a fudge there. It looks like we may be okay as far as the start is concerned into the first corner. It is Jeff Bernard taking control of things from the 2 lane as anticipated. Cal Phipps got sideways a little bit, is having trouble controlling his boat from the inside lane there. They're running through some troughs, and out front goes Jeff Bernard. But here on the outside, far outside, here comes the Lay's Kettle Cooked with Greg Hopp starting to put the pressure on from the
outside as they head up into the upper corner now, the Floating Bridge turn, and even Cal Phipps is starting to see some boat speed from the inside lane. So we've got some pretty good action up there coming out of that corner now and shutting the door. That would be Jeff Bernard in the FormulaBoat.com, and he's got a Rooster Tail lead, but Greg Hopp is still trying to catch up with him. And Chip, I think Greg has a little bit more boat speed, but he's got a lot of real estate to make up.
Another example of a great start. I think he just equaled J. Michael Kelly's great start, and look at the benefit that's paying off. And I think with the start he made and the performance he's got on the boat, I think he's going to keep Greg Hopp behind him.
It looks as though at least at this point he's going to be able to do that, but Hopp has made up a little bit of ground coming out of that corner. Very rough down in the lower corner now as Jeff Bernard continues to fly his boat down the back chute and takes the entrance pin now just about to the entrance pin of the north corner. Right now on the outside, it is Greg Hopp putting a lot more pressure on him and laying a little more horsepower through the corner here, trying to catch up. He has pulled it within the Rooster Tail. Coming out of that corner now, he still has a wider course and clean water to run in, but Greg Hopp is not really catching him. He's just staying with him at this point. End of lap number 2. Jeff Bernard has your lead now. Here comes Greg. He's coming on strong now. He's coming on strong from the outside. He's drawing to within about a Rooster Tail now, about a quarter of a Rooster Tail. He's pulling, as you can see, from the outside to the apex of the corner, and let's see if he's got the boat speed coming out. He's got good water to run in.
Mike, he left a lot of room. I don't understand why he went so wide. I think if he would have stayed closer to him, closer to the inside, he could have won this race, but he went awfully wide on that corner, and I think it's going to cost him.
He's still putting the pressure on, though, as they come back into that north turn, turn number 2. He's now alongside. He noses out ahead at this point, but he's going to have a drag race on his hands to try to get Jeff Bernard at the start-finish line. Question is, who has the most horsepower? He's pulled virtually side by side. He's coming on strong. It looks like Greg Hopp may have it. It does look as though he has it. He wins, takes the checkered flag just by a boat length there at the end over Jeff Bernard.
Where did Fred Leland get this boat going so fast all of a sudden? They've been struggling not only this year, but they've been struggling for the last few years. But all of a sudden, this weekend, they're fast.
Boy, was that a finish. The number 3 of the boat is Cal Phipps. The number 4 is Ken Muscatel in the Car Pro. Mark Evans will be number 5, and number 6 will be the Matrix out of Pennsylvania.
And that last lap for the U100, the Kettle, the Lay's Kettle Cook, was 141 miles an hour in rough water. That's fast.
And on the outside.
And on the outside to boot. Yes, that's fast. Well, there was some dandy racing, and that shows you, of course, Chip, just exactly what's happening with the so-called Tier 2 boats, which are becoming quite a story here.
Well, Mike,